Welcome to another time capsule. In this series, we travel back to the really early days of Zoom Court, full of technical issues and really confused people. We also revisit some of the most memorable cases, and we get to see them with fresh eyes. Today's hearing takes us back to March 2021, and it centers around a 6-year-old boy caught in the middle of an incredibly complicated family situation. On one side, his bio mom, whose hatred of CPS seems to have consumed every aspect of this case, and just about every aspect of her life, to be honest. And on the other side, an uncle, who is the child's managing conservator, and his aunt by marriage or common law marriage or just domestic relationship. It gets a little bit messy and muddled, but it kind of, you'll know what I mean. They're not married, but they live together, and she essentially becomes the primary parent for this little boy. For whatever reason, mom's brother is no longer in a position to be able to be this child's primary managing conservator. He's no longer with the woman who he spent 7 years with and raised this child for at least the last 5. And he's asking the court to transfer conservatorship to her because she's been the parent that this child knows. She's been the one doing the day-to-day and the one that this kid sees as a mother figure. It's really messy, it's really confusing, and it's really dramatic. But we have a kind of extra special twist for this one because we have more than just the courtroom footage. After the hearing, we step outside the courtroom and we watch interviews with the mother, where she explains in her words how she believes she lost the right to her son. These interviews were conducted by someone with, well, let's just say his own story is a little controversial. Considering his channel is called Dad versus CPS, I'm already approaching everything he says with a healthy dose of skepticism. I might just have to make him the subject of a future time capsule and deep dive because there's definitely a rabbit hole there. But these interviews, they're fascinating. They offer an incredible window into how some people can experience the exact same events and walk away with completely different versions of reality. I say fascinating mostly because by the end I wasn't sure whether to be shocked, concerned, or laughing at the sheer absurdity of some of the claims being made. Researching this case has been quite the journey, and I can't wait to hear what you all think. So without any further delay, grab a drink, grab a snack, maybe grab some fidgets because you might find yourself wanting to throw things. Let's jump back to March 2021 and see how this unbelievable story unfolds.
Who else was told to be here?
Let's get into it.
Not call. All right.
Your Honor. And this is in regards to the Stanting case. It's the cause number 16-010030 CVW for temporary orders. I represent the petitioner, Ms. Lendra Hastings, and we've announced for 1 hour.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to get with who's here from Wilson County?
I am, Judge.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to get with Ms. Kruger in chat, and I will ask her to pull the file. Who is here on the other side?
I believe Ms. Erica Thomas is the respondent, and I thought I saw her on here as well.
Yes.
I'm not sure if she's represented, though.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. And I'll mark y'all conferring. So Erica Thomas, pro se, are you both ready to proceed?
We are present and ready, Your Honor, and we have a couple witnesses also. And Your Honor, I do have a mediation starting at 1 o'clock today as well.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. So Ms. Thomas, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. I'll mark you conferring in 60 minutes.
Thank you, Judge.
And Judge, I do apologize. It looks like that case should have been on the docket today. It looks like the date was entered incorrectly.
Let me ask, what are the live pleadings in the Stanting case?
The live pleadings right now are for today, the motion for temporary orders, Your Honor. We also have a motion to transfer from Wilson County to Hayes County. I believe the a response has not been filed, but but I have not checked my mail since Saturday, so I'm not sure if Ms. Thomas has sent anything in, and I don't know if she's filed anything with the court since last Saturday.
I can speak on that. Yes, I did. I sent a response in just Friday, actually. I mailed it off. Y'all were supposed to sign for it. Same thing for the courts as well. But I would also like to reset this hearing.
Your Honor, we've been here since before 9 o'clock. I am contracted with legal aid to represent Ms. Hastings, so I'm not inclined to agree with this continuance. When we met to confer earlier, she informed me that she's ready to proceed. She had her documents that she was going to show you today, so I would ask that we proceed today. I've got 2 witnesses that have been with us since before 9 o'clock. We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Ms. Thomas, this is just temporary orders hearing. So we will proceed, and let me ask, first of all, Ms. Okay, and your client is Lendra Hastings?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me ask Ms. Hastings and Ms. Thomas to raise your right hands. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you may give in the matter now on trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, and what other witnesses
Yes,
do
sir.
you have?
I've got 2 witnesses, Mr. Franklin and Jeremy Thomas. I believe they're in the,
Yes, Jeremy, both of you to unmute, and Jeremy Thomas, would you start your video? Well,
Let's see what happened.
let me go ahead and swear you in, Mr. Franklin Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Do you too solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you may give in the matter now on trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you to speak up a bit too in your name.
Yes, sir. Franklin Thomas.
Okay. If I call you Mr. Franklin, forgive me, the longtime county attorney in Atascosa County was Thomas Franklin.
That's all right.
All right. Okay, so, and so let me flip back. Now there's a final order from June 19th, 2017. Is that the order that's going to be that you're asking to have changed?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what exactly are you asking to have changed
For the temporary orders or in the final order, Your Honor?
on the temporary orders?
On the temporary orders, we are asking that Ms. Hastings be appointed the temporary managing conservator of Edward. We're asking that the possession and access be modified in the best interest of Edward. And we're also asking for a restraining order or stay away order. Oh, Mr. Thomas.
All right, hold on. All right, Mr. Jeremy Thomas.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, can you stop walking?
Yeah, I'm getting to my car because I'm currently at work right now, but I'm about to get in my car.
Okay, I'm going to mute you until you get there.
Thank you, Judge. So lastly, we're just
Okay,
asking.
hold on. Let me just go ahead and swear him in. All right, I'm asking, all right. Ms. Thomas, do you swear or affirm the testimony you may give in the matter now on trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Okay. All right, and your name?
Jeremy Thomas.
Okay, and I'm going to mute you now, sir. All right, go ahead, Ms. Aldridge.
Yes, Your Honor. Lastly, we're just asking for a stay away against Miss Erica Thomas. So we're asking for temporary managing conservator to suspend the visits or restrict the visits, and also a stay away, Your Honor.
All right, and what visitation does Erica Thomas have right now?
Right now, she gets the 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekends of the month pursuant to that final order at Kids Share. And she has not made her visits in February, nor has she made the last visit, Your Honor, and she has missed 18 months in a row immediately after that order had been signed.
Okay, and what are you going to ask me to do today, Ms. Thomas?
I don't think she has any pleadings on file, Your Honor.
I understand. I'm going to ask her to unmute though.
Hello, Your Honor. I have been having my visits. They just haven't been cooperating with my visits, sir.
All right, so are you going to
I
be?
have the police reports and everything to prove it.
This is not time to testify. So you're going to be asking me to not do what they're asked, what Ms. Hastings is requesting. Is that correct?
Like currently I have rights to my visitation, so I'm going to continue my visitation. Those
Okay,
are my
so-
rights currently.
Okay, so, all right.
I have to sit here and pay child support. So if I have to sit here and pay
Okay,
child
ma'am,
support, I have
ma'am.
rights to visitation.
Okay, that's
Okay.
enough. All right, everyone's aware of your position now. Okay. Ms. Aldrich, your first witness.
I would like to call Jeremy Thomas, please, Your Honor, if you can unmute him.
All right, Mr. Thomas, go ahead.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any other electronic device going there, Mr. Thomas?
No, sir, I just have my phone.
Do you have your door open?
Yeah, is that better?
Yes, because we keep getting wind noise. That's better. Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, Mr.
Okay.
Thomas has been sworn.
Yes.
Okay.
He has.
Jeremy Thomas, can I call you Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Pam Aldridge and I represent Miss Hastings. I think you are aware of that. Can you state your name for the record?
My name is Jeremy Thomas, Jeremy Glenn Thomas.
Okay, and how are you related to this case? How are you involved with this case?
I'm actually I have actually conservatorship for Edwards right now. Also, I'm also the uncle of Edwards.
Okay, and how are you related to Erica Thomas?
You're the what?
That is my sister.
Okay, I didn't, you said you were something, you're the what of Edward?
I'm the uncle of Edwards, and I'm the sister of Erica Thomas.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay,
Go
may I
ahead.
share the screen, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay, Jeremy, I'm going to show you a document.
You go, that's better.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, Jeremy, what is this? Do you recognize this piece of paper or this document?
Yes, ma'am. That's the court documents from Wilson County.
Okay, and this was entered on June 20th or around that date of 2000.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And this is in regards to Erica. And who is Edward? Who is that?
That is Edward's dad. That is Junior's dad.
Okay, and this was a CPS case, correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
And when this case started, how old was Edward?
Edward wasn't even one yet.
Okay. And at the end of this case, the father's rights were terminated. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but Erica retained some of her rights. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and here on page 3, it shows that you were appointed as the sole managing conservator.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And also at 7.4, it says that you have the exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the child within the state of Texas.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay, and you're here today to ask the judge to allow Edward to live with Wendy.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're going to go down here to page 4. Here's the mother's right. She was appointed possessory conservator. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So her rights were not terminated.
Correct.
All right. And also I see on page 7 down here, there are some injunctions that she is not allowed to, for certain people to be around Edward and also not to be 100 feet of you. Why was that stay away put in place at that time? Do you know?
Because there was a Facebook post. We still have the Facebook post. There was posts where Erica stated on Facebook that she would come into the house and she would kidnap her child out of our care. So that was one of the reasons why that was also placed in order, and it was also for the safety of Edward Stanton.
Okay. And why did they felt the need to protect Edward Jr.?
Because Erica's Edward Stantine Sr. was actually he's actually a convicted criminal, and he has histories of breaking into people's houses and stuff. And then also at the time, Erica was still talking to Senior at the time of the CPS cases was going on, and so we felt that it was for our safety and for Junior's safety that we placed some restraining orders.
Okay. Has she abided by this 100 feet stay away?
As far as I know, yeah. But other than the incident they just had in San Marcos, where she made a law for pretty much just lied and stated that with the law enforcement in San Marcos.
Okay. Are there any other concerns right now in regards to, I'm going to call him Junior. Is that all right, since we have an Edward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So have there been any other concerns with her threatening people or threatening Junior?
Yeah, she still posts stuff on Facebook. There's just recently I seen that she had posted something on there about a couple of days ago. So you know, and I do feel like there's safety concerns for Junior if he does go back. One of them is actually really, and like I said, I'm doing this for the best interest of Junior, and one of the reasons why I really want him to go back with Wendy is because he's so mostly attached to Wendy. You know, he is just, you know, it would be an emotional breakdown if he didn't stay with Wendy.
Okay, I'll ask you that a little bit.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I just want to get through this order to show the judge what it actually says. I'm going to go down to the attachment down here in regards to her visitations. And this here says she gets the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
For 4 hours.
Correct.
But it's supposed to be supervised at KidShare.
Correct.
Okay. And are you aware of her making all these visits since 2017?
No, she has not made all of them visits since 2017. Right after the case had happened, there was an 18-month period. Me and Wendy, we had hired an attorney. The attorney, I don't know what happened with the case. You know, she never looked into it. But when we first closed the case out, there was an 18-month period where Erica did not go to visitations, no nothing. And me and Wendy, the day after we got the papers, we went up there to KidShare to get everything finalized and everything. And all they said is Erica would just have to call up there and just whenever she's ready to make a scheduled appointment, that's all she had to do. So we put forth the effort to hurry up and get the visitation started right after the court case had happened. But there was a whole 18-month period where she didn't even contact KidShare.
Okay, and you're also aware that she missed all of February, correct?
Yes, ma'am, and of March. Well, she hasn't had one in March yet, neither.
Okay, and the way KidShare works, she would need to set that up. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, ma'am. She'll set it up. We'll set it. We'll call in, you know, or they'll call us and schedule a visit, and then they will call Erica and they will confirm with Erica, and then so that's how that will go. They will confirm with Erica. They'll confirm it, and then once it's confirmed, then you know that's when the visitation is set.
Okay, and when they called you to bring Junior, have you at any time refused to bring him to these visits?
No, we ain't never refused. We canceled. We would have to cancel, and we would call KidShare way ahead of time. We would cancel, and we had documentations and doctor notes of the reason why the visitation was canceled.
Okay, and due to COVID right now, KidShare is doing remote visits. Is that
yes, ma'am? They're doing Zoom visits. Yes, ma'am.
And it's your understanding that she's making these police reports because she can't see him in person?
I'm assuming so.
Okay. And then lastly, the attachment B here is in regards to her child support, which she is ordered which she's been ordered to pay $195 a month. Has she paid that to you since 2017?
Honestly, I probably got maybe about 3 payments from her. I probably got about 3 payments, and in them 3 payments weren't even, I haven't even had a full month of her paying $195 in a month. Now, now, due to the fact they're garnishing her income taxes, I was receiving I did receive her income tax, and I also received some of her first stimulus check.
Okay. I'm going to show you another exhibit. This is marked Petitioner's Exhibit 2. Can you tell me what this is?
That's temporary guardianship.
Okay. And is this your signature at the bottom? Is that your signature right there?
Yes, so that's my signature.
Okay. And what does this affidavit mean to you? What are you actually doing?
That means I pretty much have all of the rights for him to go to the doctors, for him to for him to get enrolled into school and stuff like that, and to take care of him.
Okay. And is this a guardianship affidavit that you are actually allowing Wendy, Miss Hastings, to take care of Junior?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're allowing her to make all the health and emergency medical care decision, educational decisions, travel, and other decisions that would be in his best interest. Is that what you're?
Yes, ma'am.
And you completed this with the assistance of the Department of Family and Protective Service. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you still, and at this time, you want to convert that quote unquote guardianship into a conservatorship so she can have those protections.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay. So, Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to admit petitions Exhibit 1 and 2 that was just presented.
All right, well, Exhibit 1 is already in the court's file. I'll take judicial notice of that. That's above there. And Ms. Thomas, do you have any legal objection to the admission of the guardianship affidavit? Ms. Thomas, I don't know if you're trying to speak. You're muted.
Oh, say again, sir?
I was talking to Erica Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Hello, sir.
All right, do you have
Hello,
any?
Your Honor.
Yes, do you have any legal objection to the admission of the petitioner's exhibit number 2, which is the guardianship?
Yeah, I do, Your Honor. It's crazy. I knew about that investigation that was going on. The CASA worker on the
Okay,
case
ma'am.
that y'all saw on the orders.
Ms. Thomas. Okay, the only thing I'm asking right now is, do you have an objection to the admissibility of this piece of paper? I'm not asking if you agree with it.
Yes, I do.
What is your objection to the admissibility
Yes, I do.
of the petitioner's exhibit 2?
Well, the reason why I'm objecting it to it is because I want to let you know currently I have a 4-year-old boy in my custody. He is the brother of.
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Thomas, again, I'm fine. That's not a legal objection. So without a legal objection, I will admit petitioner's exhibit number 2, and you'll have a chance to speak very shortly. Go ahead, Ms. Aldrich.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jeremy Thomas,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me a little bit about your relationship with Wendy. How long have y'all been together?
Me and Wendy, we was together for 7 years. Me and Wendy, we got into Jackson's life. Jackson wasn't even 1 yet. There was times where Erica and Senior, they were living in a trailer, probably no bigger than, I can't even explain it to you. I mean, it was very unlivable conditions. And so we actually we've been, me and Wendy together, we've been in Jackson's, Edward's life his whole entire life.
Would you consider yourselves common law married at that time?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We was living under the same roof. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you considered her to be your wife and she considered you to be her husband at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you were together 7 years. And when did you how old was Jackson? how old was, I'm sorry, I think his nickname is something else. How old was Junior when you actually, when he was actually placed with you and Wendy?
You mean to after foster care, or just throughout through whole entire foster care and everything?
When during the pendency of the CPS case, how old
Oh,
was
he was with us. Edward was with us probably since he was wasn't even one yet. He wasn't even fully poly trained yet.
Okay. And when,
And I'm sorry, I keep getting a clicking noise. I've muted everyone except the attorney and Jeremy Thomas. If anyone's doing anything that's making a clicking noise, I'd appreciate it if you'd stop. And I'm actually going to mute myself. Sometimes noises that the person whose electronic device is on can't hear filter through. So I'm going to mute myself and let you continue.
okay. Mr. Thomas, when you had Junior, did you have him full-time 24/7?
No, actually, Wendy was the one was there 24/7. I was actually the one that was always working. Made sure everything in the house was taken care of as far as financially wise. But as far as like everything, the 24-hour watch, being there, to make sure he's doing his work and all of that stuff. That was Wendy's part.
Okay. And he's 6 right now, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it's fair to say that he's lived over 90% of his life with Wendy and you.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay. And you had mentioned that Wendy actually helps with his homework. Does she take him to the doctors?
Yeah,
what does she do for him?
Wendy's always did that. She's always took him to the doctors, made sure he got enrolled in the school. Wendy just put him in football. He's playing football now, so yeah, Wendy, and you said 90%, I would say more or less Junior's been our like 95% of his life.
Okay, so you believe it's in his best interest for Wendy to continue to take care of him and have.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, we are also asking for the court to suspend her visits or reduce her visits. Are you in agreement with that, and why?
Yes, ma'am, because for one, she doesn't pay child support. She still owes almost $5,000 worth of child support. It might be more than that now.
Besides child support, are there any other reasons why her visit should be restricted or suspended?
Well, she doesn't go anyways. She hasn't been there since February, and she hasn't made a visit in March.
Mm-hmm. And Junior,
and before that, is she's supposed to do 4 hours a visit, but she only does an hour a visit. She only sees them a whole hour. And another thing that concerns me, as far as the visitations go, Junior doesn't like to be there. The only reason Junior goes is because so he can see his brother. We ask him questions about, hey, did you see your brother today? No. He said, what did you and Erica do? And he's always like, oh, we didn't do nothing. It was very boring.
okay, so he's expressed to you that he does not want to go to the visits?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, y'all gonna have to mute me real quick because I just got called into the job.
I think I can get other testimony from his brother, Your Honor. I think he just left. You're on mute, Judge. Your Honor, you're still on mute. Oh, there we go.
Okay, we figured out who the problem was. It was Jeremy Thomas on the clicking noise, whatever that is.
Yeah.
All right, Ms.
guess he
Thomas
had to go.
has a chance to cross-examine him, but for the time being, you can start with your other witness.
Will do, Your Honor. I would like to call Mr. Franklin Thomas.
All right, go ahead.
Can you unmute yourself, Franklin? Is that
Yeah.
okay if I call you Franklin?
Yes, that's fine.
And Franklin, you're the other brother of Erica, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you know why we're here today. We're here to ask that for conservatorship for Wendy of Junior. Are you in agreement with that, and why?
Yes, I'm in agreement with it. I have seen both sides of the family on this issue. When it comes to Wendy, she had been essentially the mother, caretaker, nurturer from day one of Edward's life, essentially. She has been really, as far as when it comes to taking care of it, she was the homemaker and Jeremy was the provider. He was bringing income and everything. But when it came to seeing Edward through everything that he would naturally go through, it was her that was there.
Okay. So have you seen significant differences or changes, improvements to Junior while he's been in the care of Wendy?
I have, as far as from cleanliness to overall behavior patterns to his overall fullness, even. There was a period of time where when I visited Edward before Wendy and Jeremy got involved, this was back when Erica and Santine were together, there was some questionableness as to whether he would ever get healthy, so to speak. The trailer that they lived in was less than dilapidated, for lack of better terms. And I saw some things there that brought about long before the CPS case. So I kind of knew that all this was going to come to a point.
Okay. So it's fair to say there's been lots of issues that brought the case into the care of the department.
Yeah, there is a 180-degree difference between what I saw then under Erica's care to Wendy's care.
Okay. And do you see Wendy and Junior frequently to check in on him?
I haven't seen them very much because of COVID. Apart from seeing them on phone and talking to them, I haven't had a chance to really see them as much as I would like to.
Okay. And when you did see them, can you describe what their relationship looks like, how they interact?
They act as a mother and son does. It's very homely, very happy. He's always wanting to do things, and they're always, catering to his, needs as a child. So I do the same thing with my own daughter. Mm-hmm. And so when I bring my daughter to them and they go off and they play and do all the things that wonderful kids do. And so I've never seen anything other than suggest, a happy home.
Okay. Would you agree with me that she would be the only mom that he's known throughout his life?
Yeah.
Okay. If you know about the visits that she has at KidShare? Okay. Do you know do you feel that should continue or if it should be suspended?
I would like to see it suspended.
Right.
Primarily because of several things. There was a time I got to go to one of the visitations with Wendy and Jeremy. And while I was there, Erica actually threatened harm to Wendy while she was present there and over the child. Now at that time, the child was off playing with, I keep calling her Miss Bowman, but I know it's not Miss Bowman. I'm trying to remember the woman's name, but she was the point case or the caseworker that was helping with the visitation during that time. And that's one of the things I've seen. I've also seen Erica's erratic behavior that basically led to her online harassment, to slandering both my family and theirs, to the point where I won't even talk to Erica if I can help it.
Okay. So is it fair to say you and Jeremy do not talk to your sister at this time due to the harassment on social media?
I do not partake in social media. I've actually gotten off of it. I've decided I had enough.
Okay. Can you tell the court what type of threats she makes or what types of things she posts?
Kidnapping her child. At one point, she threatened to come to Wendy's place of residence. And it got so bad that it prompted Wendy to actually relocate to another part of the city. She talks about something called Featherwood. I don't even know what that is, but Somebody said it
What?
was connections. So
Something called what, sir?
it's something. She said at one point that she had a connection to something called Fair. No, she lived at a place called Fairweather, but it was she had connection to Featherwood, which is, I don't know what that is, but that was her connection to get it windy. And that's I've heard personally. I don't know.
Go ahead with your questions, ma'am.
Okay, Franklin, do you believe those threats are credible for her to come and kidnap her son?
Yes.
Why do you believe they're credible threats?
Primarily because I know Edward Santine Sr. At the time that the threats were being made, she was still with Edward Santine Sr. And Edward Santine is for lack of a better term, well connected within a certain community set. And primarily, I don't want to say the word, but the skinhead. And so when they talked about kidnapping, it wouldn't be the first time. She has said in the past also that she does not want Junior to be living with Wendy. And part of it has to do with her race. And not just her, whether she can take care of the child or not. In the past, she had also given, this happened about 3 months after Edward was born. We were called to their trailer, and they wanted to draw up papers for adoption, that myself and my wife would adopt Edward, should CPS ever get involved. So it was something that they kind of knew what might happen. But at the time we turned it down because my wife was also pregnant with my daughter. So it was kind of one of the cases where we got our own hands full, we're about to be new parents.
So your opinion right now is that it would be in Edward's best interest for him to stay with Wendy, for the visits to be restricted, and also for a stay away order against your sister.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pass the witness for now, Judge.
All right. Now, Ms. Erica Thomas, I need to let you know this is not a chance for you to testify. You will have a chance to testify on your own behalf shortly, but this is an opportunity for you to ask questions of this witness. So what questions do you have for this witness?
I do have a question. I would like to know why CPS was called on Lendra and my brother. Like, I don't know the situation.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't believe he has personal knowledge of that.
All right. Mr. Franklin Thomas, you may answer the question. I'll overrule the objection. If you have personal knowledge, you may answer it.
Okay. I didn't know why, for example, why did Erica eventually? Okay. Actually, I don't know. I don't think I have any questions at the time.
Ms. Thomas? Do you have any other questions for this witness?
None. I have none.
He's asking Ms. Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, do you have any other questions for this witness?
Oh, I do have another question.
Okay.
I have a question as to why my brother can't take care of Edward anymore.
All right. And
Is
then
it
let
because of
me ask you to just put your questions directly to the witness. Okay. You understand what I mean by that?
No, I don't understand.
Okay. Ask him, why can't Jeremy take care of Junior? Don't say, I'd like to know something. Just if you have a question, put it directly to him. Don't phrase it in the third person or anything like that.
I
Go
would
ahead.
just like to know why Jeremy can't take care of Edward anymore. That's for him to answer, if he could answer for me.
And that would be only if Franklin knows, Your Honor.
Yes. Mr. Franklin Thomas?
What, say again? Was the question towards me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why I couldn't be taking care of Edward now? Is that what the question is?
Not you, Jeremy.
It was Jeremy.
If you know.
Oh, what? As far as the only thing I know is that at this current time, Jeremy and Wendy are not together at the moment. So as far as that's all I know.
Muted, Judge.
All right, Mr. Thomas, you went away and you are now muted.
Okay.
The last words I heard from you, I could understand were that's all I know.
Okay. Yes. All I know is that Wendy and Jeremy aren't living in the same household right now. That is what the reason they're here for.
Your Honor, can I answer that question?
No, sir. You need to remain muted. We will return to you. All right. Ms. Thomas, what other questions do you have for this witness?
Why CPS?
Remain confident to care for him because of mental
Objection, Your Honor. I believe somebody else is in the room with her,
I don't
giving her
care.
instructions.
I don't.
Why did CPS deem him unconfident to care for him anymore? Is it because of his mental illness?
Objection, Your Honor. I believe that's improper witness. I believe she's directing the question to Mr. Jeremy Thomas, rather than Mr. Franklin Thomas.
All right. I need to tell Erica Thomas, the witness is Franklin Thomas. Do you have other questions for Franklin Thomas?
No, it was, that question was more towards Jeremy, but not Frankie.
Okay. Ms. Aldridge, do you have any follow-up questions for Franklin Thomas?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
All right. Jeremy Thomas, I muted you because we started the next witness just because have short time available. Let me ask you to unmute. All right. Now, Ms. Thomas, you did not get an opportunity to cross-examine Jeremy Thomas a while ago because he had to take off. So what questions do you have for Jeremy Thomas?
I would like to ask why CPS has deemed you unfit to care for Edward Jr.
Objection, Your Honor. That facts are not in evidence in regards to fitness or unfitness of Mr. Jeremy Thomas.
Okay, I'll overrule the objection. I don't know if they have, but so. Mr. Jeremy Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to repeat the question, Ms. Erica Thomas?
Yes, I would like to know how CPS deemed you unfit with the mental illness to care,
Your Honor,
not care for him.
Your Honor, CPS never gave me a mental illness. And second of all, Your Honor, CPS never found me unfit. I wanted to give my rights over to Wendy for the simple fact that I work. Wendy can take care of him. I don't have to pay for a babysitter, and I don't have to find another mama for for Edward, because he has a mama that's right there in that corner who takes care of him dearly. It shouldn't be no state of fact about a mental illness, because I don't have a mental illness, and I've been evaluated, so I mean, I don't know where she's getting I have a mental illness from.
Your next question, Ms. Thomas?
My next question is, I was notified of some bruises on my son. My brother actually called me, and I wanted to know where those bruises came from.
Objection, relevance.
Well, Your Honor,
I'll ask Ms. Erica Thomas to say which brother.
Jeremy, he actually is the one that reached out to me through phone call. I have evidence of that too.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Jeremy Thomas.
Your Honor, those bruises did not come from Wendy, nor did them bruises come from me. And I can't speak on their behalf because my ex is going through a CPS case right now because of the fact. There's an open CPS case on her, not on me, it's on her. So like I said, those bruises did not come from me, and the CPS is already notified, notified of that. And Your Honor, I would like to know on how did she get all that information, because CPS did not give her that information.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, Erica Thomas is the one asking the questions. Your next question, Ms. Thomas?
That's about it. Thank you. Oh, we need, I do have some documentation.
Okay, you'll have an opportunity to testify on your own behalf shortly, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Aldrich, what other questions?
And just one follow-up for Jeremy Thomas, Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Jeremy,
Yeah, I'm here.
the bruises that Miss Erica Thomas is referring to, that has been investigated by CPS, correct?
Correct, yes.
Has it been ruled out by CPS?
I've been ruled out.
Okay. Was Wendy?
Yes, Wendy was ruled out.
Okay. So there's been no fault or any suspicion that either you or Wendy caused those bruises on Junior.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Ms. Thomas, do you have other questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. Who was supervising them at that time? Because he got the bruises somewhere. And why was he being left unsupervised?
All right, Mr. Thomas?
First of all, Your Honor, he was not unsupervised. Second of all, I worked. I was at work when the incident happened. So, like I said, my ex is the one that's being investigated right now through CPS. I'm not in it. I was not at home. I was at work. She was watching him because she was living under my roof. Her and her daughter and him were living under my roof.
Your Honor, I just wanted to clarify when Jeremy says his ex, it is not Miss Wendy Hastings.
And I can't really speak on that case because it's an open case, and I can't really speak on that. But once again, for the record, Wendy did not put them bruises on Jackson, nor did I put them bruises on Jackson. But it is an open CPS case, and it's on another party.
Okay. And just to remind Jeremy, just answer the questions, okay?
Yes,
All right,
ma'am, I am.
Mr. Thomas, what other questions do you have for this witness?
So you're telling me that your ex-girlfriend that's not Wendy watched my son
Was in Wendy's care when the incident happened.
when he was in Wendy's care when that happened?
Your Honor, how come there's somebody in that background talking, Your Honor? There's somebody
All right,
back there
Mr.
that's
Thomas,
talking.
Jeremy Thomas, Mr. Thomas, you have an attorney. Your attorney can make objections if she wishes to.
I'm not his attorney, Your Honor.
And I have overruled it. So you need to answer the questions that are put to you.
I'm not.
Okay, well, she's my ex. My ex was living with me. She was living under my roof. So who else is going to watch him? What, am I going to pay for a babysitter to watch him when there's somebody's watching him? And no, Wendy was not at the house when it happened. Wendy was not living with me. And for Your Honor, I just want to state this for the record that she's already called my ex and asked my ex questions. How did she get her number? I don't know. And the reason why I know she did is because she told me that Erica called her phone and asked her, stated over the phone, what happened to my son? And she went off and hung up on Erica in her face.
Ms. Thomas, what other questions, if any, do you have for this witness?
That's it.
All right, Ms. Aldridge.
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to clarify, Your Honor, I don't represent the men. I represent Miss Lakendra Hastings. and I'm referring to her as Wendy. If I may call her next, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. Wendy, can you please state your name for the record?
Hi, yes, my name is Lendra Hastings, also known as Wendy, to many friends and family.
Okay. And Wendy, you are Jeremy's ex-girlfriend, correct? And
Yes,
how long have you been in a relationship with him?
7 years.
Okay.
It was
Wendy,
7 years.
okay. And you also considered yourself his common law wife?
Yes,
Okay. And Erica actually knew of you 7 years ago. Is that fair to say?
yes,
Okay. Were you at Edward's birth?
yes.
Okay. And how involved were you up to when CPS got involved?
We will watch Junior every now and again. When Miss Thomas was living in a shelter, we would go and get him and watch him. And there's other times we had to go and pick him up and watch him for them.
Would you say that would be on a weekly basis or a daily basis?
No, no, not a weekly or daily. It's been like maybe a couple of months in between.
Okay. And when did what year was that when the CPS case started?
2016.
2016. Okay. And at that time, did she voluntarily place Edward with you and Jeremy?
Yes,
Okay. So it was not the department placing him. It was, she actually signed a placement form. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. And when did you and Jeremy separate?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Where was Edward?
With me.
So
He was
has
living
Ed-
with me.
okay. Since that final order, what amount of time has Edward not been in your care?
From the final order, maybe 2 months.
2 months? Was that just last fall when he was with his
Yes.
ex?
Yes.
Okay. And he actually reached out to you to see if you can take care of Edward.
Yes.
Okay. And what is your relationship like with Edward?
Great. Wonderful.
Okay. You love him?
Oh, absolutely. I love him.
What do you do for him?
Well, I provide for him. We do a lot of things together. So
Jeremy
I put-
mentioned, go ahead.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Jeremy mentioned that he was in sports,
Yes, he is. He's in football.
in football. How's he liking it?
Oh, he loves it. He
Okay.
loves it.
All
He
right.
loves being
And
out there with the big kids practicing. So
that's good. And is he in school or pre-K right now?
he's in first grade and he's excelling first grade.
Okay. And do you go to the parent-teacher conferences? Do you take him to school?
Yes, due to COVID, we do Zoom for the parent and teacher conference. I just had one last month. And I do take him and pick him up from school.
Okay, so the teachers and the staff at the school know who his person is, his guardian, his.
Oh, absolutely. They
Okay.
do.
So if there was anything wrong with him or if they had any questions about him, you would be the point person.
They will call me. Yes,
Okay. And you also take him to doctor's visits?
I do. I do.
Okay.
He's very healthy. So yes, dentist as well.
Okay. And you believe that it's in his best interest for you to be appointed his legal guardian or his legal conservator?
Yes.
Okay. And just state if you can state to the court basically why you believe you should have legal guardianship or I apologize, legal conservatorship.
Conservatorship. Yes. I've been on this journey since 2016. Edward came to live with us April 28, 2016. And I've been in his life ever since. He is all that I know. I'm all that he knows. I have a very stern foundation at home, and he knows what a home is. Family has a big, huge family, so we do a lot of family gatherings, especially before COVID hit. And he's just my world and I am his. I mean, we vibe with each other, you know? So he's my baby, so yeah.
And that family includes both Franklin and Jeremy,
Oh,
correct?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
And let's talk about Erica's visits. They're at KidShare, and
Mhm.
you agree with everybody that's testified that she's missed the 18 months and the month of February. What other times has she missed visits with him?
There was a time, I would like to say June of no, it was 2000. I remember it was before COVID hit, so, but I took him to his visit, and there was a no call, no show, but we do have to wait because they allow you to wait 15, 20 minutes. So, and they came back and told me that she wasn't there.
Okay. And you actually follow up with KidShare before each weekend to
I
confirm?
do.
Okay.
I do. We follow up with each other, either call, email. So yes.
Okay. And whenever you've had to miss a visit, you've always had a note or some sort of valid.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for instance, I did have surgery and they knew ahead of time. And it was an incident that in April I knew I was going to be hospitalized. And so I asked if she can have a visit way before a date. And they contacted Erica, and Erica made a fuss about it because she didn't want her. So I asked her to give her date back. And I don't know, they said that they would, but then I guess the spot got filled up. So she was put on a waiting list. But anytime that I do, because it's mainly me, I'm the one that does the visits, they talk to me. KidShare talks to me, I talk to them. So anything regarding Junior, I am the one that talks to everyone. So yes, we have missed visits. Absolutely, we did, due to me having surgery, I've been hospitalized twice. Junior's been sick. In fact, the doctor would request him not to be around others because it was contagious. So yes.
Okay. And those visits had been made up, or you've offered to make those up?
We made up some, but it's offered. It's not required.
I see. Okay. And right now you're kind of also at the mercy of KidShare because they also have policies in regards to COVID, correct?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
And you're also aware of the calls made in regards to violations of these orders on yours or Jeremy's part. Can you elaborate on that as to what's happening with Erica and her allegations?
Well, I mean, if we miss, here's the thing. Erica loves to post on social media, no matter what it is. Okay. I had to have a sit down with KidShare because of things that she had posted. And I've asked KidShare, please, I'm going to have this surgery, please just don't inform her of the reason why. And they agreed to it because they even saw some of the things that she was posting. And so, yeah. Far as I just lost train of thought. I'm sorry. What was the question?
That's okay. Let's just move to those social posts that you're talking about. Now, you're aware that she's on numerous anti-CPS social groups and pages and whatnot.
Yes.
Are those concerning to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's really more towards me, in Germany.
Why are you asking this court to continue, I guess, that stay away order?
Because Ms. Thomas has made threats to kidnap Junior.
Okay.
Several occasions. Even made a threat to, what if she takes him from KidShare? What are the police going to do?
Okay. And she's actually posted the location of KidShare on her social media?
December 30th, she had a visitation and she went on Facebook Live.
Okay.
And posted.
Okay. And she's also posted his immunization shots?
Yes.
Her own medical diagnoses?
Yes.
She's posted the last judge who
was on the case.
presided over her CPS case. So,
Yes,
and that's concerning to you?
absolutely. She's not only did that, she has posted where he goes to the doctor, his address.
And as a result of that, did you have to change doctors?
I did.
Did you have to change your residence due to her actions on social media and
I
other?
did.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
when was that when you actually had to move?
The first time was in 2017. I moved from one side of San Antonio to the other.
Okay. As a result of what action that
Well,
she did?
because with all these postings in these groups with 5,000 people who got their kids taken away for their fault, not their fault, I don't know, but calling me a kidnapper, saying I have stolen her child, you know, it gives other people thinking, you know, if they don't know your whole story and you're just pointing out to one person, she kidnapped my child because she can't have kids of her own. She's no mother. She needs to go and adopt other kids and play house with those kids. And you got all these people saying all kind of things about me. And just like I seen the fact that she said that she was going to come to my house and bring people and then call the police and all this stuff. I have to put Edward first.
Right.
All times.
So you moved, and you moved again after that?
I did. I actually moved again. I moved to Hayes County, and Edward moved with me to Hayes County.
And why did you move this time?
Well, this time it's a new scenery. I know she Googled my address, but at that time it's not fearful.
Okay. Do you feel she knows where you are right now, or she knows where you live?
She does.
How do you know that?
February 24th at 7:00 p.m., me and Junior sitting in the living room, and I get a knock at the door, and you know police knock very hard. And it startled Junior. He was like, "Mommy, is anybody coming?" And I said, "No." You know, so I go to the door, I look through the people, and I see anything. So I'm like, "Who is it?" And they didn't say anything at first. I was like, "Who is it?" And he said, "San Marcos PD." So I opened the door. The officer said, "You know why I'm here?" I said, "San Antonio?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "Erica?" He said, "Yes." And I told him I stopped him before he said anything else to me. I said, "Let me get the information I got from Child Protective Services and from Jeremy showing that Junior's supposed to be here." So he's looking through old court orders. He's trying to get a hold of the investigator. And he says, "Well, I'm under the impression that Junior's not supposed to be here." Erica stated that she did not know where he was at, and he's supposed to be with Jeremy. So, you know, I had to explain to the officer what's going on, situation. And he was like, "Okay." So we're talking, and I let him know about some of the things that were said. And then I said, "How did you know where I live?" He said, "I would not have found you." He said, "Erica giving me the address."
Okay. And at no point in time did you post your address anywhere, or nobody else would have shared?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Do you know the effect on Edward? Has he exhibited any fear or anxiety over what's going on with his mom?
Yes. Even with the officer coming, you know, he asked, was he getting ready to be taken away? And it kind of hurts my soul a little bit because he's been through so much already. And I assured him no. And I asked the officer, I said, "Would you like to," because he said he was there for a welfare check. I said, "Would you like to speak to him alone?" He says, "Oh, no, I don't need to. I can see he's perfectly fine." And then Junior said, "Yes, I am perfectly fine." And, you know, everybody laughed, but, you know, that's just his little.
And Edward's actually in play therapy right now, correct? In regards to this whole situation?
We put him in play therapy in 2019 because he was not coping with visitations. He would cry before he goes. He would throw fits. I would have to calm him down. And I know this may be bad, but I used to have to tell him, "Hey, everything is okay. I will be here," because he would ask me, "Are you going to be here when I get out?" Are you gonna be? Yes, we'll go to Build-A-Bear, wherever you want to go after visitation, whatever, you know. But he was just not coping with it. It was hard for him. He was going in there saying things from what his sheriff's telling me. And so, yeah,
What is, you said he was saying, going in there saying,
things to Miss Thomas, like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't like her. I mean, he would tell us that, but he expressing himself in there. And I talk to him and, you know, I explained to him who Erica is because he hadn't seen her in a while before, you know, 2019. That was her first visit, was in January 2019. And so it was hard on him. It really was. And even till this day, it's still hard for him.
but you don't discourage these visits.
No, absolutely not.
And you don't badmouth his mom.
No.
Okay. And that's partly the reason that you want the visits reduced from 3 per month. Or
Well, yes, because she was granted 4 hours in 2017. We went to Kids Share in August 2017 to sign up for the visits. Ms. Thomas didn't make her first visit till January 2019. And in the beginning of January, she did do 2 hours. She has, but ever since after that, it's an hour.
So she doesn't exercise the 4 hours that she's given.
No.
And you heard Jeremy's testimony that he complains about not having much to do during that time, that 1 hour.
Yeah, but when she brings her other child, it brings him a little joy in the visitations because he does love seeing his younger brother. But I try to encourage him to interact with Miss Thomas too. So I guess there are times when they do interact, and you know, his answers are really short. It's always reflects back on to his younger brother.
Okay. And today you're asking the judge for a stay away order.
Yeah.
And is it fair to say that if you can't get one, you're going to have to move again?
I may have to, yes.
Okay. I will pass the witness for now, Judge.
And again, Ms. Thomas, this is an opportunity for you to ask questions of this witness, but not to testify on your own behalf. You'll have a chance to testify on your own behalf shortly. Go ahead, ma'am.
I have a question for Lendra. Do I have to pay for my kids' care visits?
Yes, you do. And it was court order when we all went to court.
Okay. I have another question, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Do you pay the other part of the visitation as well?
No, because when we all went to court, Ms. Thomas, you agreed to pay for your visits. So we are not authorized to pay for your visits. This is something you've been knowing since 2017 in July.
Okay, thank you.
And
Anything else for this witness, Ms. Aldridge?
yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to admit witness affidavits pursuant to the emergency orders. I don't know if you want me to screen share that or just request that they be admitted into evidence. They're marked as petitioners exhibits 3 and 3A.
And are they attached to the petition?
They have been filed, Your Honor. I filed them this morning and I believe they were accepted.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have a question.
All right, and let me just ask, I don't have a copy of those. Does Ms. Thomas have a copy of those?
Judge, I'm sorry. I did accept those. I need to bring them into the courtroom. I can do that right now.
Okay. Does Ms. Thomas have a copy of them?
I just recently got her email address this morning during our conference, Your Honor, and I did not get the affidavits from my own client, except I think I got them yesterday, all of them yesterday.
Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and forward a copy of.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Thomas, what sort of electronic device are you on?
I'm on a laptop.
Okay.
I think I can email
Right.
her, Your Honor.
Well, that or you could just post them in chat.
Oh, yes.
If it's
Your Honor, I do have a question.
All right, let's right now what's in front of me is motion to admit the affidavits. Let me let Ms. Aldridge get copies of these affidavits to you so that you can see if you have objections, and then you'll have a chance to testify.
I'm in chat, Your Honor. I know there's a function where I can download it, but
If you go to,
I see three little dots. It says save chat or merge to meeting window. I know when I'm in my own account, I can upload to it.
okay, what sort of thing are you on?
I just put in the Zoom ID.
Okay, but I mean, are you on a laptop, a tablet, a cell
Oh,
phone?
I'm on the computer, Your Honor, just the desktop.
Okay, if you go to chat and Erica Thomas, next to the three little dots, there ought to be something that says file.
Ah, thank you, Judge. They have both been sent, Your Honor?
Thomas, you should receive those and you should be able to download them and then open them and look at them on that computer there.
And I just had one other question for my client, if I may, Your Honor, while she looks at that.
Go ahead.
Wendy,
Yes.
at one point in time, did you have to send a cease and desist letter to Miss Erica Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you need that? And this was before you had counsel, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Why did you feel like you needed to do that?
Because Ms. Thomas implicated me on a current CPS case as the abuser. What's the current CPS case that's going on now, excuse me. Not only that, she's just been slandering my name, my character as a person. And I just felt like enough was enough. I've reached out to so many people that involved with Ms. Thomas to help her, to talk to her, to encourage her to stop.
Okay.
But
And
this time she implicated me in this current CPS case, and I have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with.
okay. And you had previously mentioned some social media pages. Does that include Justice for Edward Jr., Fighting
Yes.
CPS,
Yes,
Dad versus CPS?
yes,
Has she ever referred to Edward as her property?
yes. Instead of son, she's called him her property. I need to turn over her property.
Okay. And are you aware of her posting a request for babysitters for her children on social media?
Absolutely. Even when Junior's case during CPS, yes. Prior judges and CPS have spoken to her about that.
And do you believe these are appropriate, or, you know, do you believe they're appropriate, or
They're very inappropriate
as a parent?
as a parent, yes.
Ms. Aldridge, I need to ask you to move along because we need
I'll
to,
pass
Ms.
it, Judge.
Thomas is, all right, so before we get to the affidavits, Ms. Thomas, do you have any other questions for this witness right now?
Your Honor, I do have a question for Lakendra.
Go ahead.
Lakendra, I remember going to a visit and my son Edward brought it to my attention that I had to pay for these visits. Who do you know who might have told him that response? Because I know it wasn't me.
Okay, so as you know, as everybody know, that Edward Jr. is very smart for a 6-year-old. At the time when I lived in San Antonio, our rooms are kind of adjacent to each other. So I sends him to his room when I am having a conversation with CASA workers, CPS workers, because at that time, even though the case closed in 2017, we still had to deal with CPS till they closed the case. So when she came over, you know, she goes over all the guidelines and things. So he may have heard, you know, our conversation.
Okay. And then, Your Honor, I do have another question for her.
All right, Ms. Thomas, just ask your questions directly. You don't have to preface them with
Okay.
any request to me.
Okay. And Lakendra, do you know that if I was to go over to your house, do you know there is such thing as parental kidnapping charges? That's just a question because I'm aware of that.
Parental kidnapping charges, no.
I am aware of that. So I
Okay,
haven't done it for a
Yes,
reason.
Your Honor.
but you, okay, thank you. Well, I answered no, Your Honor.
Any other questions for this witness?
Now I do have another question. My brother did say that he has another ex-girlfriend, right, besides you, from that I was aware about, right, Lakendra?
Yes,
Okay, where was Edward at the time of this bruise? Was he in your care or the other ex-girlfriend or the
he
girlfriend's
was,
care?
he was not in my care. He was in Jeremy and at the ex-girlfriend's care.
Do you know this ex-girlfriend or do you not?
No, I do not know her.
Are you aware, as Edward's mother, that I did ask my brother to press criminal charges on whoever did it?
Yes, and we really can't speak on that, so I don't know if Jeremy, continue to press charge. Erica, I don't know. I don't know. They cannot discuss the case with me. So I don't know.
Okay, because another question is, as a mother, aren't we supposed to be, if our children were to get hurt by somebody and we know that person, and like, say if our son came up to you and say, hey, for example, I'm gonna use my
Objection, Your
friend.
Honor. Speculation.
Overrule the objection.
I'm trying to make a point here.
Ma'am, I overrule the objection. Go ahead with your question.
As a mother, if our child was to come up to you and say, hey, this person hit me, what is your job as a mother that we're supposed to do? Because I know.
Protect the child. You protect the child.
And you do what by that? Press criminal charges. That is why I asked my brother to do so, because I care about Edward. And y'all make it a big deal like I don't. I love my baby. I miss my baby.
I never said that you don't love him, but your action speaks other word. And again, as far as the issue what's going on with Jeremy and the ex-girlfriend, I cannot speak of it because I do not know of it, but I can tell you that I'm here, I've been here, and I put Junior first, and I will protect him from whoever and whenever. I always put him.
Do you have any other questions for this witness, ma'am?
So I do have another question. My next question is, during the time that I had Edward, did he have any bruises or anything on him when you saw him?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have proof of that?
No, but he was in when we pick him up, so, but no, I didn't take pictures, and it wasn't like a bruise, he probably was crawling on the floor, got little scrapes. He didn't really specify.
Okay, my next question is, you said you got my son in April of 2016, it was, right?
Yes.
How old was he? How many months was he before then?
He was 1.5 years.
Didn't you say that you had him since he was 1?
No one asked me.
You told me earlier that you had my son since he was 1. So 1
1.5
would be 12.
Okay, 1.5 years. April, he came to live with us April 28, 2016. He was born August 14, so actually make him 18 months. But I don't ever, when someone asks me about a child, I don't ever say, well, they're 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. The term 1, you're 1, you're halfway to 2, you're 1.5. How old is he? 2? I'm sorry, I never go by.
Okay, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Oh, let me think, I forgot about it. I had it stuck in my head at one point. Were you at my visitations when I was dealing with CPS.
Not inside.
Are you aware that when my son would see me, that he would cry?
That was during the time in foster care. We didn't get him yet, so.
Okay. My next question is, do you have any other children in your home?
No.
Okay. My next question, can you, you know what, Your Honor, I won't answer that question. I have a question for another one, Lendra. If Edward was to come to you regarding his brother, okay, as woman to woman, if he came up to you and said, oh, he said, I don't like how you, I can never see my brother again, what would your response be?
If your son comes to me and asks me that he can never see his brother again.
Edward, we're talking about Edward. We're talking about Edward.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your other son. Well, honestly, Erica, don't worry about that because Edward is just not that type. He's such a jolly of a kid. He would never. And if he wants to see his other brother, I will do whatever I can to make that happen like I've done before. But I don't ever see Edward saying that.
My next question, how would you be able to do that when I have a child, his baby brother is in my custody?
How? Because your child's father has met up with us on several occasions with Alexander, so.
Now, speaking of that,
we're not here for that, but okay.
Your Honor, I think that's all the questions I have at this moment for her.
All right, Ms. Aldridge?
No further
the
questions.
rest? Okay. Are there any objections to the admission of the affidavits? All right, Ms. Thomas, are there objections to the admissions of the affidavits?
Your Honor, I could not open those documentations on my computer. If somebody can email them to me, I could look at them.
I can do
Okay, so I'll set that aside for right now. What witnesses do you have, Ms. Thomas?
At this time, I don't have any witnesses. I was not prepared for this trial.
I mean, are you going to testify on your own behalf?
I do have some witnesses, but they are currently not here today.
But my question right now is, are you going to testify yourself?
Yes.
All right, so go ahead.
I'm here today because I have two children. One is with me, one is not. I would like to thank my brother and Jeremy, and Lendra, for taking Edward in instead of him being in foster care. I want to let y'all know that the reason why I did at that time is because of the fact that me and my brother, we grew up in foster care and we knew how the foster care system works. So I want to thank y'all for taking him in at that given moment. I also wanted to come on today and said that during the whole COVID situation, I was under quarantine with me and Alex as well. He is currently going to school virtually as well. He is doing very well. He is healthy, he is happy, he has all his shots. He's up to date on his medical stuff. He is one happy little boy. He has a little friend that is a girl. It's really cute.
Judge, at this time, I'd like to object to, and I know with pro se's, we give him a little latitude, but we're going into the younger brother at this time, and I think we need to focus on the issues that we're asking the court.
I'll allow the testimony that's been gone on, but I'll ask Ms. Thomas to bring it back towards Edward.
Okay, I will bring it towards Edward. So I was okay with when KidShare told me about the whole, she didn't want Edward being at KidShare doing Dear COVID. I was
All right,
like,
ma'am,
fine,
and
I'll
you
agree to
froze up
that.
there for a
I
moment.
was trying to.
All right, I don't know if the other people are seeing the same thing. You
Yes,
froze up and then your voice and face were not tracking. I'm going to ask you to start over about when
Okay,
talking about KidShare.
During the COVID situation, I felt like she was stripping my rights away when it comes to my visitation with Edward. I've never been tested positive for COVID. I feel like she's been violating my rights with that. I was trying to get on the same page with them because of the fact that they currently have custody. It has not been easy during this whole time that they've had him. I will admit that. I'm his mother. I'm always trying to encourage Edward to have a relationship with his sibling. I've had Edward's siblings since the moment he was born during that CPS case that occurred. And I just want my baby back. Like, I've worked so hard for this, and Your Honor, I'm really asking for a chance. I have stable housing now. I'm not talking to my oldest son's father anymore. I'm trying to better
Okay, and
myself.
Ms. Thomas, what I need to tell you is there's a process to do that, and the process is you need to file a motion to modify to get changes made. This is just on temporary orders on the petition filed by Ms. Hastings. So if you want changes made to that, was it 2017 or 2019 order?
2017, Your Honor.
2017 order, then you're going to have to file a petition to have those changes made. So go ahead, ma'am. I just want you to understand that this isn't about that. Even if you convince me that would be in the child's best interest, I don't have the authority to make any rulings on that because all I have is the motion for temporary orders from Ms. Hastings.
I just don't agree with her having temporary custody. Or even sole custody. I'm willing to put Edward in a rehabilitation with family therapy with me and him to talk about what happened with him. I know he might be angry with me. And I understand that. Like, I get that. I grew up in foster care myself, and I've had some issues with the whole thing as well. So that's why I'm willing to do that step for him. Because I feel like that's going to be the most important thing. As far as, I don't want to like strip Edward away completely. Like, I want my family back. And I yes, years ago I might have let him down, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying to change every single day. It just hasn't been easy.
All right, ma'am. What else do you want me to know?
Like I said, I have stable housing for me and my youngest. We've been here since they closed out the case with Edward. I don't plan on moving anytime soon. Me and Alex are happy. We're healthy. We are safe. He has a loving home. We do go to church as well, virtually. Right now, I'm currently having to do it virtually. I do help with babysitting. So he has other friends that he can play with while I babysit, because I at least know where my son is at all times. I'm not sitting here trying to ask for babysitters. If I do ask for babysitters, I have an account with the Texas Department of Public Safety to run background checks on people now. I created that on my own because I wanted to. My goal was I didn't want to lose another child to this to CPS. So my goal was like, you know what, the whole situation with Edward was a learning experience for me, and I had to. My main goal for Alex was to put him first, and that's what I've done. And I just prefer to have my kids with me, like.
And what else?
I prefer to also have my family. I don't mind being a single mom, raising 2 boys with the help of family. I really do. Even if we have to do family therapy, all of us, to repair this relationship. Our family goes past beyond my childhood from 3 years old, Your Honor. And I just want my family back. I don't want this bickering and fighting. And the reason why I haven't done anything, like, yes, I will admit that I did post stuff like that on Facebook, but I'm not somebody that's gonna go and take her baby like that, because that is criminal charges. I'm not asking for criminal charges on me. I'm asking to be a mom.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Aldridge, what questions do you have?
Just a few
Mr.
questions,
Thomas?
Your Honor. Erica, now, we previously spoke, you denied having any contact with Lakendra, and you also don't want any contact with her, correct?
I really don't, but if we can try to repair this relationship in family therapy, because yes, it'd be great to have another mom for Edward, but not like strip him from me. I feel like if we can do family therapy and she be the next mother figure, because I didn't have my mom growing up. Jeremy didn't have his mom growing up. Frankie didn't have his mom growing up. So in a way, she is a blessing to us. She is like being another mom. And I appreciate her help. I really do. It's just I don't want my rights stripped from me. Like, I'm trying to better myself.
Okay, but are you grateful? It sounds like you're grateful that Lakendra stepped up and helped you raise your son. Are you grateful and blessed that she's been involved in his life?
Yes, I just.
Okay.
I have to admit, I've been hurt and angry about this, but I'm in therapy. I've remained in therapy since this whole CPS case. I'm on my meds currently right now. I'm trying to continue to better my life for my kids.
I guess my question would be, why did you miss the 18 months that were so critical at that age? Why did you miss 18 months of visits with Edward if it was so important for you to bond with him, to get to know him, to be part of his life?
Because they were restricted. If my rights are not restricted, I could see him more.
So instead of seeing him 3 times a month for 4 hours each time, you preferred not to see him at all. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm asking to unrestrict them.
And I'm asking you why. And I'm asking you why you missed those 18 months.
Because they were restricted. CPS restricted them.
Okay. And then the reasons that you have not been exercising all 4 hours of the visits that you were given, why do you just stay for 1 hour as opposed to the 4 hours?
I've been trying, like, and then they want to sit here and say that it's only March 9th. I was planning to come and visit him. I was actually, after today's court hearing, I was planning to call KidShare and make some time for him to visit my son. So it's not like I'm not seeing him. I am doing the best that I can as a mother knows how to do.
And KidShare actually has gone to virtual meetings or virtual visits with your child, but yet you still can't make those. Is that correct?
I keep contact with them. I have virtual visits. I have had done virtual visits. There was times, there was this, like, I started working, and so my visits are supposed to be on Saturdays, and then sometimes with Kendra, we're trying to change it during the week, and then it kind of like I know she has a busy schedule, and I sit here and have a busy schedule, so it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of hard just having them just on a Saturday. Or it's hard. Huh?
You understand the impact on a child when you miss those visits, whether they're virtual or in person. Do you understand?
I understand that, but like I said, it's CPS. If the judge could, like, grant me, even if they're unsupervised visits,
Okay.
or something like that.
All right. Was there just a huge scream in the background somewhere? All right. I need to ask you, Ms. Thomas, to repeat your last answer because we had some huge interference in the noise.
I basically said CPS restricted my rights to make it harder to me to see my son. I try to make every effort I can to see him. If I can't see him, I miss him. There's not a day that I go out with not thinking of him. And I look at my son that I do have, and I'm like, you know what? This is a blessing for one child to be with me, but I sit here and miss Edward too.
But Erica, do you understand why it's a little confusing that you're telling us that unless you were given full access, you would rather not have any visits with your child for 18 months?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, please, I'm asking y'all to unsupervise my visits. There's no reason why my visits should be supervised. I have a baby in my custody, and he is 4 now.
I'm going to pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Thomas?
Like I said, I've had my mistakes in the past. I'm learning to grow from them, Your Honor. I really am. I just want my babies. I want my family back. I don't want to deal with Child Protective Services anymore. Every time they've come back, people may have made false accusations, but they kept closing them out. That's why we're here today, Your Honor. And Your Honor, there is no CPS worker in this courtroom for a reason.
All right. Brief argument.
Yes, Your Honor. If I may.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, we are here on the motion for temporary orders. There's 3 things that we're asking for: conservatorship, restriction or suspension of her rights, and as well as a no contact or stay away, which I believe she is also in agreement with. There are no pleadings on file by Miss Erica Thomas. So for her to be requesting anything at this point, I don't believe, the court would be authorized to grant her anything because she has no pleadings on file, Your Honor. We have evidence of the child being with Wendy and Jeremy at the time for the first. He was with them when he was 1.5 years up till last October. And for just briefly for 2 months, he was not with Wendy. So he's been with her the majority of his life. That's all he knows is Wendy. His mother had these rights, and she just testified, Your Honor, that, well, I didn't visit him for 18 months because CPS restricted me. So instead of going to see him 3 times a month, Your Honor, for 4 hours, she decided that it would be best if she not see him at all. And now he has issues with with his visits with his mother. He's in play therapy, trying to figure out, what's going on with his mother. And this is all with Wendy caring about him, about his well-being, about what's in his best interest. She observed him. She noticed that he had issues with it. She listened to his issues, put him in play therapy. She takes him to school. She is in his life on a daily basis. You've heard her testify. He calls her mommy. She calls her mommy, or he calls her mommy. Jeremy's testified that, he has to go back to Wendy, essentially. Wendy's all he knows. This is from the sole managing conservator, the person that the department trusted to take care of Edward, to do what's best for Edward. And at this point in his lifetime, he believes that what's in Edward's best interest is to stay with Wendy. And that's why we're requesting that she have temporary sole managing conservatorship of Edward, Your Honor. In regards to the visits, she doesn't even exercise it. She doesn't exercise them. She's missed so many. And the ones that she has, Your Honor, she stayed for 1 hour. And of course, you've heard.
Erica Thomas,
Sorry, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
closing arguments, Ms. Thomas.
I have some documents here that I would like to send in to you. Some actual evidence that I have regarding to the case on Edward that I would like to submit to you. Is it possible I can have your email?
All right.
Or
Well, ma'am, I gotta tell you, it's improper to contact the judge directly for either side. Okay, this is just temporary orders. This is not a final order that says what's going to happen. The other thing I need to let you know is, as I said before, Ms. Thomas, the only thing the judge can do is rule on the motions they have in front of them. If you want to change what was ruled on in 2017, you can't just verbally ask for that to happen. You're going to have to file a motion to modify in your own right.
Okay,
So what I will do today is that I'm going to appoint temporarily Lendra Hastings as a managing conservator, and she's going to be a joint managing conservator with Jeremy Thomas. I will construe Jeremy Thomas appearing today and testifying as a witness and supporting this as an appearance by him, because I think he's a mandatory party as the managing conservator of this child.
He signed a waiver, Your Honor.
Okay. A waiver of citation or?
Your Honor,
Waiver of service, Your Honor.
Mr. Thomas, I'm the attorney. A waiver of what?
Waiver of service, Your Honor, so he's been served.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, but he's still the managing conservator until something is changed. But I will appoint Jeremy and Thomas and Lendra Hastings as, I will appoint Lendra Hastings and Jeremy Thomas as joint managing conservators temporarily. I will let Lendra Hastings establish the residence of the child, and I will not change anything else having to do with Erica Thomas's visitation with the child. And I will take her right now at her word that she understands that this needs to be settled through the courts and not by self-help or going out and taking the law into her own hands. I'm going to encourage you again, ma'am, to get a representation so that you can come in and file a motion to modify, and that can be heard and this can be taken care of in the future. And is everyone in agreement that the child has been in Hayes County for at least 6 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't.
All right. Now, Ms. Thomas, how long do you think that Edward has been there?
I don't think long at all, because of the fact that I got documentation for that slander from a San Antonio address. I think she's using 2 addresses.
Hold on, Wendy.
Currently.
Okay, so I don't even know how much time has passed. I don't know if it's too late to file an affidavit countering the motion for venue. All right, Ms. Hastings, you have an attorney. Your attorney will speak for you.
Miss Erica Thomas.
I'm not going. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Judge. Go ahead.
So since we don't have an agreement that the case should be transferred to Hayes County. I'm not going to sign an order today transferring it to Hayes County, but and I also don't have in front of me a motion to transfer it, saying that there's been, or just enter an order stating that there has been no contravening affidavit filed. And again, I'm not making a finding that the time for that has passed. I don't know. I haven't looked at the dates to see if it has or not.
I believe that controverting affidavit is due next Monday. And I also believe Ms. Erica Thomas also does not live in Wilson County. None of the parties live in Wilson County, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, and I don't know if there needs to be a motion to have it transferred somewhere else. So, Ms. Aldridge, how long will it take you to work up temporary orders?
I was hoping that you would sign it before the mandatory transfer, but you're saying right now you're not going to roll on the motion to transfer?
It's not agreed, and you're telling me the answer time is not passed, so no.
So we'll wait till Monday, and if she objects to it moving to Hayes County, it will have to stay in Wilson County?
No, then we'll have to determine where it goes.
Okay, so I'm out next week, Your Honor, but I could probably get it done. I'm going to try to get it done this week by Friday for your signature. If not, may I get it done the week following spring break, which would be the week of the 22nd?
It's fine with me, as long as everybody's clear that Ms. Erica Thomas's rights have not been changed. I'm also going to ask you, so let me ask who's on. And Norma, what date do I have? Do I for Wilson County the week after spring break?
You have March 29th, Your Honor.
Would we have to appear in court, or would that be when I would need to submit the order, Your Honor?
Okay. I'll set it for entry on March the 29th. And what I will tell Ms. Aldridge and Ms. Thomas is the only thing that would be heard that day is if there's a disagreement about whether or not the orders that Ms. Aldridge has drawn up implement what I have just ordered, which is that Lendra Hastings and Jeremy Thomas are appointed joint managing conservators. Lendra Hastings can designate the residence and all those related rights of the child. Erica Thomas's rights at this point are not affected. So as long as y'all are in agreement that the order Ms. Aldridge prepares states that no one needs to be here. If you have an objection to it, Ms. Thomas, then you may appear. But again, you would not be saying that you agree with it. You would only be objecting, stating that you don't believe that Ms. Aldridge's order reflects what I've said.
Your Honor, I have a question to you.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you asking for like a counter petition?
I'm just telling you that all the things you want to hear about, yes, ma'am, you're going to have to file a counter petition if you want those heard. Now, it sounds to me like this child has not resided in Wilson County for quite a while. And when that happens and they're gone for more than 6 months, it sounds like the case should be transferred somewhere. And
Bear County.
okay, well, that is not agreed. So we'll see if there's any dispute that I need to settle at a later date. But I will set this for entry on the 29th of March.
Is there a stay away, Your Honor, or no contact order between the parties?
I have not ordering that, but I will remind Ms. Thomas what she had testified to, that she understands that she's going to do nothing but severely injure her case if she's having improper or harassing, contract with Ms. Hastings. So let's keep it through kid share and through the courts.
That's what I've been doing, Your Honor, and I will continue to do that.
All right, so I will see y'all on 3/29,
What time, Your Honor? 9?
9 a.m.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And I don't need her signature on the order. I just need to send it to her and have her review it. And if there's an objection, then she'll need to let the court know. Is that the way you?
She'll need to appear, yes. And you can file written objections, ma'am, if you get access to e-file system or do it by hand, but yes.
Okay, sounds good. I'll send it to her then. Okay, may we be dismissed, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. All right. You need to tell the people on the extradition case that we're going to come back at, we'll call it 25 after. I'm sorry, but I need to put out a couple of brush fires and give Ms. Cavazos a break. She's only had one break before we start that. So we will be back at 25 after, and I will see you then.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Piana Aldridge, I represent the petitioner, Ms. Lakendra Hastings. We have a submission of orders as well as 2 motions. I don't believe it's going to take more than 20 minutes. I don't know if Ms. Thomas has representation now. She emailed me on Friday saying that she should have representation today.
All right, Ms. Thomas.
I'll have representation this afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay,
It's in the works.
okay, has there been a sworn response held to the motion to transfer?
No, Your Honor. There has been no controverting affidavit filed in this case.
Okay, and you're asking to have this sent to Bexar County?
To Hays County, Your Honor. That's where the child and my client is.
Okay. And all right. All right, Ms. Thomas, if there is not a controverting affidavit on file, I believe I have a duty to go ahead and sign the motion, the order on the motion to transfer. So all that means is this case will be held in the county where the child resides. And I'll ask Ms. Aldrich to post a order to me to that effect in chat.
I will, Your
I
Honor.
will sign that.
I also have 2 short motions, if I may.
Okay, what are those?
Oh, not motions. There's a submission of orders, Your Honor. I did send that to Ms. Thomas, and she indicated she was not going to sign anything, but you had ruled on temporary orders on March 9th, and the only thing that I wanted to clarify with you was whether or not the child support would transfer to my client, who you had given.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I will send that, and also there's a motion for removal of some of evidentiary evidence that she had filed in the case. So I'm asking that to be struck and removed from the files.
And is that set for hearing today?
It was just filed last week, so I threw it in there. I didn't know if I could take it up today, but.
Okay, well, we'll leave that for Hays County. All right, Ms. Thomas, did you have a particular objection to the order other than the child support issue that Ms. Aldrich came up with? Or were you just on the general principles that you hope to have an attorney soon and you did not want to sign off?
I do not want to sign off because I don't have an attorney present at this moment.
Okay, that's fine. And I will sign those orders when they're submitted, and you'll be able to get a copy from the district clerk's office sometime after they're filed. Ovation Services LLC versus Carlos Olvera.
Okay, so how's it going, everybody? You're watching Dad versus CPS. Got to do the introduction again. This is Michael here. Okay, so today I have a mother from Texas. Where are you from, Erica? You're from San Antonio, right?
Where am I from? I'm actually from San Antonio, Texas. I'm here because I'm here to do a voice for my 7-year-old who hold on, it says, can you hear me? Because it says on my end, the internet connection.
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay. So my case actually with CPS was out in Wilson County.
Atacosta County, right?
Yes, Atacosta County, Wilson area. Which is like 45-minute drive from San Antonio.
Where's the county seat over there? Where exactly is that courthouse that you went to? What city is it in?
Floresville.
Floresville. Okay.
Floresville, Texas.
Okay.
So Floresville is about 45-minute drive from San Antonio. So it's not that far. Unfortunately, I know with CPS, they have regions all over the state of Texas, and their county is Regional 8. Floresville Regional 8.
Okay.
And then I'm a mom to another child, and I have him obviously, which is very interesting on how I can have one and not both, right? My youngest is 5, and my oldest is 7. My 5-year-old was born into this CPS case on my oldest. That's the unique part of it all. So they allowed me to keep one, which happened in Kerrville, Texas. That's like maybe an hour drive. That's still Regional 8. So all Regional 8 pretty much does not like me right now. But it's okay because these are my kids and I don't like them. So back in 2016, so originally the case started in 2015. They did not remove him until January of 2016. They came knocking on my door, and they also came knocking on my oldest son's father door because we live together. We're not married. I'm still not married as of today.
And when you say they came knocking on the door, you mean CPS, or was it the cops too?
It was just CPS, no cops, no nothing.
Okay.
And at that time, I answered the door. And the reason why I answered the door is because, unfortunately, I was in a domestic violence relationship at the time with my oldest son's father. He's not in the picture. He's not going to be involved. Like if I was taking him back, it's just me. He did not want me speaking to them. He did not want me speaking up about the domestic violence. He did not want me doing nothing. But unfortunately, I had to say something only because of the fact that I felt like it was the right thing to do at the time because my son was a baby. He couldn't be able to speak up for himself. And I grew up in the system. And so that's another reason why I felt like it was the right decision to do at the time, to speak up, because like, I know that there's some moms and some parents that when domestic violence is involved, they're so scared to speak up because they'll lose their kids. And that's basically what happened to mine. I spoke up because had I not spoken up, I feel like maybe the domestic violence would have continued to the point where he would have gotten older and he would have recognized that. And I was not going to be okay with that because I actually have a friend that was in the foster care system, and he told me privately in a message, not for everybody to know, but and that's why I can't say his name because he's actually on my Facebook. And he told me at 15 years old that his parents really did not want him anymore. They couldn't take care of him anymore, but also domestic violence happened at 15. And so I feel like for out at 15 years old to recognize something like that, that could be more traumatizing to them because they could see it. At the time that they took my son from me, he was itty bitty. He was like 18 months when they took him. So I spent 18 months of my son's life. During that time that domestic violence was going on, we did not neglect him at all. He had food, he had clothes, he had a roof over his head. He was up to date on all his doctor's appointments and everything. And they want to say that I neglected him. And I don't understand how when he was still taken care of, even though there was abuse in the home. So yeah, I spoke up and I ended up losing my kid. Throughout the case, I remember after they took my son from me, I left Floresville, in fact. And the reason why I left Floresville is because I told his dad, I told him prior, I said, look, I grew up in the system. If CPS was to come and take my baby from me, I'm gone. And I stayed true to my word. I left the relationship. Before CPS took him, I was doing family services. So I already had some family services stuff under my belt. So when they took him, we went to court the first day. The first time we had court, this was I've never been into family court like this. So I really didn't know what to say or how to present that I'm not guilty or whatever. And I didn't really do much talking, but what happened was his dad obviously went to jail after court in front of everybody. His dad went to jail because he was also on drugs. And I knew he was on drugs, but there was never a time where I allowed drugs in the home. If he was to go do drugs, he left the home and I stayed with the baby. So because I had knowledge and I said, I don't feel comfortable about leaving my son like that because that's neglectful, especially if you're aware of it too. And so I had knowledge of it, and so I never left my son with him. And I also told him if he ever he brought drugs into the home, I would snitch him out. That's what I told him. I would snitch him out because I don't have a record with drug related, and he does. And I would have told the cops, hey, I'm willing to take a drug test versus him probably not wanting to. So that's another reason why I say I'd snitch him out because him having a record. But he went to jail after that court proceeding. After that court proceeding, I had the opportunity to go to the area where we shared our stuff, and I packed up mine and my son's stuff in our car that we had. And I split, basically. I took the car, I took my stuff, I took my son's stuff, let his stuff there. And then also during the case, what happened is I pressed criminal charges on him right here in Bexar County, Texas. And so he wasn't going to get out from Floresville because they were going to transfer him to Bexar County because of the fact. So he didn't even get out until like August, September of 2016, when all I had to do was therapy sessions. That's all I had to do.
And all this is happening after your kids were taken away, right?
Do what?
All of this that you're explaining, this is all happening after your son was taken away, or is it before?
Sorry, you're cutting out, Michael. What'd you say?
That are you saying that all this that you're explaining right now, right? Is this happening before your son was removed, or is it happening after?
Happened after he was after they already had him. So all these events started happening after they removed him.
Okay, so your son's in foster care at this
I was
point.
still the one that was still complying.
Okay.
Yes, they had him in. Actually, what happened was they removed him. They placed him in foster care, and then they gave me the option to choose who I wanted to have my son.
Hey, Erica, let me ask you a question. Okay, the day that they came over to remove your son, okay, did they come with police officers or was it just the CPS caseworkers?
Do what? You cut out again.
The day that they removed your son, was
The
it
day that they came.
Yeah, who was it? Was it the police officers also, or was it the CPS agents also?
Well, let me get to the point. Okay, so before I had court, that first court hearing, the CPS worker wanted me to meet her in the office, and I was already on my way to the office. She calls my phone, right? Because at one point, his dad took my son from me all the way to Dallas, Texas. CPS did not come and pick up my son from Bexar County. They traveled. They told me on the phone, we're going to Dallas to pick him up. Because at first, they were going to give his dad the opportunity to bring him down here. But no, instead, they went up there in traffic. They took him from Dallas, away from him. So I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Okay, so they didn't.
I didn't even get to hug my baby. Huh?
See, he wasn't taken away from you. He was taken away from the dad. Am I understanding that
They
correctly?
took him away from the dad.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was trying to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, they took him away from the dad, but they never gave him back to me at that moment.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
they took him from him because. Do what?
I'm sorry?
You're kind of cutting out. What were you saying?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they took him from Dallas, and I kind of was like, y'all called him, and that's what they were telling me. That they would give him the option to come down here and bring the child down here. But no, they went to Dallas and took him up there. And the reason why he went to Dallas is because there was an incident in the car between me, him, and my son, and I had to get out of the car. And this is what CPS never told the judge or anything. But then again, CPS wasn't even in the car, or they weren't even around. So how can they be a first-hand witness? They're not. It was just me, the child, and my son. I had to get out of the car because another reason why I left the domestic violence relationship, because it was he was giving me anxiety and panic attacks because I would have bruises and stuff like that. And he was physically abusive, but he was also trying to mentally abuse me in the process at the same time. And so like that's why I had to get out of the car. And so when I got out of the car, I didn't go that far, but from the car, but he got into the driver's seat and took off.
He took off with your son.
And the reason why he took off with his son is because the day he was born, he was on the birth certificate at that time. And the reason why he took him away from me is because I took his son away from him like two or three times prior to that.
It was an issue. I get it.
So he wanted to get right back at me. It was like he's gonna get revenge from me. So after CPS went up there, that's when basically we had court, and from the time we had court, he was in jail for most of it. And when he got out, he was still refusing. He didn't want to do drug tests, and he did not want to do drug tests. And I even knew that he refused because I would even ask the people as he came up there and even did his drug test, and they would tell me no, he has not.
Particularly, what was it that the allegations were on your baby daddy that led to the removal? Because obviously they went looking for him, right? They were looking
emergency removal. Okay, get this. On the emergency removal, it does not mention my name. It only mentions his. And they're trying to say that he was being they were saying that he was on drugs, and that he was the one that was at home with the child, and I was out doing something else.
Okay. Did they ever serve you with the paperwork for the removal? Like
yes,
they did. How long was it after until they actually, like, from the time they removed your son from his father, from the time they served you the actual papers, what they were saying they filed in court? How long was that? Do you remember?
It was basically they served me not that long. They served me and then they went and got my son.
Oh, okay. So they gave you a notice, basically. What were the name of those documents? I'm curious to know. Do you remember the name of those documents? Was it like an affidavit in support of exigent removal?
It was just a emergency removal of a child.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't say motion on it.
They have several
ways. It was just like an emergency removal.
Okay.
Can you say hi?
Hi. So this is
This
your
is
other
my
son.
5-year-old that I'm talking. Yes, his name is Alexander. He is 5. That's another reason why I'm coming on this channel. Like, I don't have no gag order. If I had a gag order, I would not be able to talk about this. But I think she's gonna try to get one because this woman doesn't want me speaking out. The woman that has my son, she does not like me speaking out.
This is awesome for you to show your
But there's
son.
no gag order for me not to.
Erica,
Huh?
this is something awesome that I want to just tell everybody, right? Because this is just freaking awesome. Everybody, please understand that Erica.
Okay, let me finish the story.
Hold on, Erica. Hold on, Erica. Hold on. Everybody, please understand that Erica has her second son with her, living with her in her possession, right? But they're giving her some difficult time giving up her first son when it's a clear fact that she can have her other son, right? But just wanted to point that out. Okay, go ahead, Erica.
But I'm not gonna give up, and I'm not gonna let them bully me anymore. Guess what? I'm actually currently a student at San Antonio College going for a paralegal. That prevents me actually kind of going to court. But if they really want to continue to mess with me, I'm learning how to file certain documents. And trust me, I will file certain documents against them to leave me alone, basically. But yeah, they are giving me a hard time with my oldest, but it's okay. It's not gonna stop me. I actually, like I said, I grew up in foster care from the time that I was 3 to like, I was there till I was like 18. But little does CPS know, it's weird too, because like after you age out of the system, they pay your way through college. Okay, that's one of the benefits you get. They also reimburse you. Like say you get an apartment and they reimburse you. They help you with your rent for a certain amount of time. They basically, if I was to go buy groceries and stuff, they reimburse you for it. When with me going to school right now, they're actually paying my school right now. That's the hilarious part. They're paying my school. In order for somebody to continue to go to school, and I'm 32 right now. So the way that it works, in order for them to pay for my school, because you can get school for life. So there's no time limit. I can take my time on this, but I'm going to try to do it as much as I can. So today, unfortunately, I did take some time off to do this video because I want it to be out there for the world. And then so back to what I was saying about the college. In order for you to receive these benefits, those who are in foster care, I don't know what it is or what it's like when you have a voluntary placement with a family member, but I do know in foster care, when you don't have family members that will take you in, they have an organization called Baptist Child Family Services. That's where you can do PALS classes, and as long as you complete your PALS classes, you get all these extra benefits.
PALS classes?
PALS classes, yes. PALS classes involved.
How do you spell that?
PALS, like I'm your pal.
Okay. And what is that? I don't ever remember ever.
PAL classes are classes that a youth can take. They teach you how to manage a bank account. They teach you life. It's like a life skills class for when you get older.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was confused. These are not for parents. These are for foster children, right?
This is for foster children.
Okay.
The crazy thing now that we're going to talk about parents, okay? So at 18, I actually found my dad. It's a very interesting story in itself in that way too, and I would like to share. I don't mind sharing because my life is like a book, and I will be the open book as much as I can. But once I turned 18, I graduated from high school in Bernie, Texas, Bernie High School. Now they have another high school there, but it used to be like small, but now growing, it's getting bigger and bigger there. A lot of people are moving there. So I graduated in 2007, and before I started college, I was working on. Obviously, this is a strange conversation, but I was working on my teeth. I had like an overbite or something wrong with my teeth. I had something wrong with my teeth, so where I had to get braces. But before I could actually get those on, I had to get my all my.
You were 18?
I was 18. I found him. I learned that, unfortunately, I don't know what led him to drinking, but he is an alcoholic. He is actually slowed down a lot. It's just we bump heads. We're like two stubbornness people together. That's what you're gonna get. Stubborn. We both have stubborn heads. So we kind of like
Erica,
kind of mesh together in not a healthy way.
Let me try to fill in something maybe you're not aware of, because I know you just said right now that you just found out your mother relinquished her rights. Okay, but I'm not trying to defend her. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you is, okay, I've talked with many parents, right, who are threatened by CPS, and they're told that if they don't give up their rights to this child or to these children that are in foster care right now, that if they don't do that, and if they try to fight them in court and they lose, they're going to have their parental rights severed. Okay. And when that happens, if you have any other kid with any other person, okay, the moment that kid is born and you're there at the hospital, the child will be removed from your care immediately. Okay. So you will not get a second chance on having a second life with new kids.
Okay. I remember during my CPS case, I keep in mind, guys, I was like 7-8 months pregnant when I had mediation. And what it is, it's strange too, because I walk in there and I'm the first one to walk in there. and they have my attorney come out into the waiting room here in Floresville, because it's a big office. They have a lot of chairs, a lot of space. She comes out here and they're like, they're not going towards reunification anymore. And keep in mind, I'm a pregnant woman here. If you tell a pregnant woman, her emotions gonna start coming out. So I started crying because I was pregnant. And then the lady goes back into in the office where they're at. And then his dad comes in here. His dad comes in here, and he already knows what's up. He already knows. So they put us in one room. They violated a right. They did not want me recording mediation. I was actually wanting to record this mediation, but they violated that. And so it did not happen because they were like, we're not going to have this meeting if you're going to record. So then they separated us, and I kept asking, why are y'all doing this? Blah, blah, blah. They didn't want to give me an answer. They were not willing to meet Nate, nothing. So, and then that's when they said stuff. If you sign, we will not mess with you and your other kids. And I told myself, I'm not signing at this time. I told them I don't need to make the decision today. And I walked out. The decision doesn't have to happen today. So I was with CPS during my CPS case. I was under a lot of stress. I'm surprised that my youngest came out fine. And the reason why I say I was under stress is because I got sued. I got sued by my youngest son's father during the CPS case. Okay, keep in mind CPS. Okay, so CPS in Kerrville. I had the baby. They told me we're not taking the baby because you left that relationship with my oldest son's father, and they're like, oh, you still have your rights, so we're not going to take Alex from you. So, but they did have me. Guess what? They had me sign a safety plan, but it's okay. I signed it, and the reason why they had me sign it is for mental health purposes. I only signed it because I was like, you know what, Kerrville and CPS, if someone finally is saying, you know what, she can keep her baby, so I did not want to fight that. So I signed. But then they in CPS in Kerrville, they encouraged me to do another parenting class. They also helped me with daycare. Keep in mind, people, that the people that want your kid, sometimes CPS will pay for their daycare. And I'm like, that's odd. Why should they pay for their daycare? They should prove to the courts that they don't need services from CPS. But I found out in my case that my brother and them, they got childcare at one point. And then they tried, and then in this case, they used the fact that they used in my case that I got daycare, I got help to take care of Alex with my CPS case. Keep in mind that I was not receiving no child support, no nothing. So they did help me with childcare because I started working. It took some time because I had to wait to get off the safety plan. And on the safety plan, it was the most easiest safety plan there was. They did not want me to sleep with the baby, and they did not want me spending the night at people's houses with my baby. I was only able to stay in my stepmom's care. And keep in mind, my stepmom is married to my biological father. Okay, they allowed that to happen. Huh?
Are you saying the safety plan that you had signed, that there was rules and conditions that you were to be followed by? In this safety plan, is it the same like every other safety plan that I know, that you have to be in front of someone else, like you're being supervised by someone else, basically? That's basically what it is, right?
I guess not. Okay, so that's a good question, Michael, that you're asking, because when I signed the safety plan for Edward, it was just only me and his dad. There was no other people being supervised. We didn't have to. So they didn't have, like, for instance, if I had somebody in my home living there with me and his dad, and had somebody in the home, I probably would have never lost my son at that time. But anyways, that's a good question. Thank you for asking, Michael. But yes, not all the time does somebody have to be supervised.
Oh, wow.
I
So
was supervised by my stepmom because, yeah, I was supervised by my stepmom because they ran a background check, and she was the only one that was able to do it because of the fact that my dad lost his parental rights to me. So keep in mind, they let me have one child in the home of my stepmom and dad, okay? But they didn't want to allow it with my oldest. And I don't know if it's because the case is legal, but one of the caseworkers told me you could have both your kids in your dad's care because you're stepmom. But I was like, I'm not 100% sure if that was true or not. I felt like one caseworker would tell me one thing, and the next one would tell me another thing. So right there, it was kind of like, do if I don't, down if I don't, do. I was kind of like stressed out because I was being told one thing, and one thing a no, and then I was saying a yes. So, but yeah, I was under a safety plan with Alex. Obviously, I followed it, so that's why I have Alex. So for people
how
who
long
are
was that
watching
safety
this,
plan?
for Alex, they didn't even have me on that safety plan. They didn't have okay, so it was probably, I could probably say I was probably on it for a month. I do know that they could extend the safety plan if they needed to, but once the caseworker says no, you don't need to, that's when they lift the safety plan and it's not there anymore.
And you
but
said
yeah, that's all they had me to do. It was the most easy.
I'm sorry, I was gonna ask you a question. You said that they had you on the safety plan due to mental health issues. How did that even came about?
Yes.
How do they even find out information like that? Like did they dig
Interesting
deep?
that you asked. So
Like that would have to be something that would have to have been admitted
So
by
that's
you,
that's
right?
an interesting class. Okay. So the reason why they had me do, the reason why they were concerned about my mental health is, keep in mind, guys, I had a psychological evaluation done by CPS.
Okay, in your first case. Okay, that's right. I can see what I see where this is going. Yeah. So they're just bringing up old shit,
So
right?
that was part of the services that I had to do for CPS in order to get my oldest back. Like I said, and I'm a mom that grew up in the system, and I jumped through hoops, and I was willing to do that for my kids, so that way I could say, hey, I want my son back. But I felt like they were bullying on me. And get this, my brother who had him was also in foster care. Should we tell him? Okay, so after keep in mind, my oldest is 7, my youngest is 5. I am actually currently in court, guys, over my oldest, who is 7. How did I do that? Well, by watching Michael's videos. He has a video out there that shows what to do at a post office, actually, and how you should pay for certified mail to serve them. Because for instance, I got sued. I'm getting sued for my oldest from another party that's not even related to me or related to my brother. My brother actually had to give up his voluntary placement, and he's already said why. I don't know if I should go into details on this channel because I'm dealing with the custody issue, but I just okay, I can tell you one reason why. One reason why is somebody's going to jail for putting a bruise on my oldest. CPS was never able to accuse me of physical abuse, okay, of the child. It actually got ruled out. I mean, I have those papers too. Like you asked me, Michael, if I had papers. I kept papers from the whole entire case.
How long did CPS actually put you through with your first son? How long in litigation?
Okay, so that's a good question. For my first son, okay, so they came into my life in 2015. We removed him in 2016. The case finally ended in 2017 in June. And guess what, guys? In June of 2017, I had a baby that was in my possession.
You had a what?
A baby in my possession.
Okay.
My youngest was actually born with this. They take my son and my oldest in 2016. A year later, I have a baby who was born in 2017 on January 12th. So in January of 2017, I had a child in my possession. And now I'm back in court. There is a YouTube video of this court procedure that's currently going on. It made YouTube due to COVID, guys, because normally I don't think it would have been hidden if COVID did not hit. But this video has 658 viewers right now. The video is about what, eight hours long, something like that, Michael, right? 6, 8, you know?
Which is that one?
The YouTube video of me going to court.
Okay, that one, I actually have it right here.
Yeah, and are you able to play it on this live, Michael?
Yeah, I can.
So this is getting interesting. I prefer y'all to listen, take notes, do what you need to, because this is some real stuff here. Michael did give me he did give me some advice because I had a hard time understanding a little bit of it, but it's okay. I know what he was trying to teach me now, but we'll proceed with this.
Okay, so real quick, I want to explain to everybody. Okay, so just so everybody can follow along what's going on. Okay, so eventually in Erica's case, right? So everybody understands this video I'm about to play. Okay, so Erica went through CPS court and all that stuff, right? And to fast forward to the end, okay, Erica never lost her parental rights. She never did. Okay, what ended up happening was that her brother, okay, ended up getting managing conservatorship, and herself got awarded possessory conservatorship, and that's how they closed the case, right? And so now years later, right, for whatever reason why the brother can't handle her son now, right, he ended up getting someone else involved, right, a lady, right, who's not even blood relative, okay, and now she's stepping forward, right, and she's asking to be the next conservator managing conservator for the child, right? So that's what they're trying to do, right? Instead of giving, instead of passing conservatorship over to Erica as the next successor in conservator, right? Instead of doing that, they're trying to give it to someone else, right? Here's what the brother did. The brother actually hired, well, not him, right? But he actually has someone. I'm not sure what the relationship is between him and this other woman. Okay, but he actually gave guardianship over to another woman, right? And now that woman, okay, because she's been watching over her son, she's now suing Erica in court, right? Trying to ask for to convert the guardianship over to managing conservatorship, and they want to leave Erica as the possessory conservatorship. So that's what's going on here. So right now I'm going to play this video. Let me share my screen, okay? So let's see, share screen. Okay, and I'm gonna have to share the sound.
I want to get interesting, guys. Let me tell you this. And I also, on this video that Michael's showing, I have a lawyer on this case. He is not a police officer. He's actually a security guard. From what I know, he works. I don't know where he currently works now, but I do know that I had a friend of mine. I'm not going to say it on live because I don't need him to try to, like, if he wants to watch this video, I don't need him trying to, like, go contact this person. But I had a friend of mine that started working for VIA as a security guard, and she told me where he worked. And at one point he did work for VIA. I don't know if it's because VIA is basically a bus system right here in San Antonio for people that don't have cars or do have cars and they want to save money and just try to use the bus system that we have. So he's not a police officer, he's a security guard.
Okay.
And normally security guards work a lot of hours.
Okay.
I want y'all to know that.
But it's fair enough to say you don't know where he's employed at right now.
Correct.
And it's also fair enough to say that you don't know if he's currently employed right now wearing his old uniform either.
Correct.
Right? I just wanted to point that out, right? So it just looks kind of, I mean, for him to just wear his uniform going to court, right? I mean, come on. And what is he trying to get at? You know what I'm saying? He's a security guard. It looks like he's a cop, right? From far away.
Like that.
Yeah.
Out of
Okay,
our
okay,
care.
okay.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons why that was also placed in order. And as well,
I want viewers to know that is not true. When I said back in the day when CPS removed my child, I posted on Facebook that in the event that they did not have no court orders, this key, no court orders, that I could go to the home and take my baby. They flipped it to make it look like I was going to go take my baby.
They mix your words. Yeah, but you didn't literally post if I go on your Facebook right now, I'm not going to find a post that says I'm going to kidnap my son.
No. And
Right?
they would have, and they would have to have, yes, just because you have Facebook postings, that's not enough to,
I honestly
There's
don't
more-
believe
there
that
needs to be
you
more
kidnap
than
your own
just
kid.
okay, you can continue.
where she made a law for she pretty much just lied and stated that with the law enforcement in San Marcos.
Okay. Are there any other concerns right
Can you
now?
pause that, Michael? So when somebody makes a police report, what he's talking about that is I did not lie. He would have to literally prove that I lied to the officer. He was not there when I spoke to the officer. So that's going to be very hard to prove that I lied. What happened was I called law enforcement because the woman that is suing me, she tried to sue me for slander. She sent me a letter that has an address in Bexar County. And so I had a Bexar County address for her, but I also had to have a Hastings County address for her. So I asked, I made like an incident report regarding this incident. And I even asked the cops, how do I go about this the proper way so I don't get in trouble for like harassment or anything like that? He told me today, since you're calling for an incident report, you cannot do a welfare check today in Bexar County, but you can call Hastings County and ask them to do a welfare check because it's a different county. So I just want viewers to know that as well, for anybody in Texas that's going to watch this video. But yeah, Michael, you can continue to proceed.
In regards to her visitations. And this here says she gets.
And on there, you're not going to see my signature on that order. So obviously, okay, can you pause it, Michael? Obviously, like I said, guys, I have custody of my youngest. It's an agreement between me and his dad. So on my custody agreement with my youngest, we have my dad, me, we have his dad, and we have our lawyer's signature. So that's how a real court order is supposed to look like. Just advice.
Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
For 4 hours,
Correct.
but it's supposed to be supervised at Kid Share.
Correct.
Okay. And are you aware of her making all these visits since 2017?
No, she has not made all of them visits since
Attorney trying to
2017.
take this case on again. I think the attorney didn't want to take the case because it's irrelevant now. I think that's what it is. But my thought is, my brother had an attorney. Didn't he give custody? So he had an attorney. What happened to that attorney? I'm just saying, he somehow, some way, he got PMC, permanent managing conservatorship. So somehow he got that with an attorney because you have to file. Yes, I do know that you can file an intervention. I think he might have even filed an intervention to stop CPS from doing something, but I don't think he did. The reason why I don't think he did is because CPS also asked me at one point CPS asked me, where do I want my child to be? And I said family because I wanted him out of foster care. The reason why I wanted him out of foster care, and Michael knows this, but I can't really go into his situation, but he knows how the system is, and so do I. I lived in it for 15 years, from the time I was 3 to 15. And when you're in the system, the children that are in the system, they have no voice. That's why they run away. They try to reach out to their biological parents to let them know what's going on. I've had friends that have actually run away and CPS couldn't access them actually. Yeah, but I just think it's very strange on how they want to say that they tried to hire a lawyer and the lawyer didn't do anything with it because they had one. I think they had one. I also get this, after everything is done with what CPS told me, what CPS did to me, Bexar County has actually told me everything. there is a thing called a conservatorship worker that works for CPS. They're like the last people on the case, I guess, that helps get people, other like foster families and stuff like that, to get custody of children. So that there was a conservatorship worker, and I have a picture of the conservatory worker. But yeah, I've also, another reason why this case is going on is because it'll explain to you what happened, but also I just want viewers to know that I filed a complaint with CPS once my brother notified me. He actually called me. He called me, and I even have text messages too, because at one point he tried to cover up this bruise, and it didn't make sense because he called me and then he wants to argue with me in a text and saying it didn't happen. And it didn't make sense, because not just that, the CASA worker on the case that I had with on this case, she was the first one that reached out to me and said, you're going to want to talk to your brother. And I tried to get it out of the CASA worker what was going on. She didn't want to tell me, so I said, fine, here's my cell phone number, give it to my brother, and have my brother call me. He called me, and that's when I found out about a bruise on my son. And I was like, you know what, that's not okay. That is unacceptable, due to the fact that it's unacceptable. This is a child we're talking about. That was child abuse. That's considered physical child abuse. I don't know the person who got arrested. In fact, my brother will sit here and try to tell the judge that I knew who the woman was, but the truth is, CPS, they don't know. They don't realize, now that this is going on, they don't realize that CPS has told me everything about this case. And I had to file a complaint. And so I want viewers to know, when you file a complaint, you're filing a complaint with the Office of Consumer Relationship. What that does is that that alerts them, hey, I'm filing a complaint regarding an issue of a case. Okay. From there, the caseworker on the case will try to call you. If not, you can also call them and try to find out who the caseworker is on the case. I actually called the caseworker on the case because I called the CPS office, and I said, hey, I'm still the biological mother of Edward. I want to know what's going on. I felt like they did not want to tell me what was going on, so I filed a complaint. How a complaint works is you file the complaint, somebody notifies you, and I also want to let you know that when you have a complaint on a caseworker, you can go to the caseworker's boss, which would be most likely, for instance, you got a caseworker, then you got the supervisor, and then you got the supervisor above her, and then you got the supervisor above that person. I made it all the way to Regional 8 of Texas, and that's where they told me what happened to him. And they knew at that moment that they were in trouble.
But there was a whole 18-month period where she didn't even contact KidShare.
Okay, and you're also aware that Michael, right? Correct.
So in 2018, I made contact with KidShare. Actually, I made KidShare twice. I made contact with KidShare twice. One in 2017, trying to see if they'll let me see my son for free, because at that time I didn't have the funds, because I just quit my job, and plus I also moved to Bexar County with my youngest. So I tried asking them, and they told me no, that they said you can come back and have your visits when you have the money. So basically, guys, I want y'all to know that I've been paying $25 an hour for these visits at KidShare. So let's do the math here. First, third, and fifth. 4 hours.
You gotta pay them yourself?
Yes, I have to pay. I have to pull my money out. I pay $25 an hour. 4 hours each week. Math, please do the math. I would like to explain this to them. So $25 an hour times 4. That's $100. So I'm paying $300 a month for supervised visits. Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. So 20.2. That 20.2 does not even happen, only due to the fact that I've reached out to therapists and they told me, oh, we don't make this, we don't do therapist recommendations. So now I should be able to have
hold on real quick, Erica.
Supervised by my stepmom.
Hold on real quick, Erica. There's somebody here in the comments, right? And I'm just trying to make everybody understand, right? I guess people aren't following why you have to pay to see your son. So guys, everybody, Erica had to pay for a supervised visit, right? Because those were the conditions as her being the possessory conservator. They wanted to close the case. They wouldn't allow Erica to be able to see her son on her own. They wanted these visits to be supervised. But I guess for some reason they're making Erica pay for all this if she wants to have her visits, right? Erica, did it actually say that you were ordered to pay for these supervised visits?
It does not say on these orders, but when you do go to KidShare, they do require you to pay $25.
Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't even know that. Okay, so let me play the video.
And then can you keep pausing it for a second? Because I was reading. I was going to explain 20.2. So like I said, there is no therapist right now that will make that recommendation. But my visits could be supervised by my stepmom. And the reason why they have my stepmom is the one that actually did my safety plan on my youngest. Okay, keep that in mind. But my stepmom is the only one that's able to do it, because if you were to go back up to the corridor, you're going to see my dad and my biological mom and my biological dad. They cannot see their grandson. And keep in mind, when I had my son, I actually had my son for 18 months. He was more than year old. They just don't want to say the months. But I'm letting the judge know it's 18 months because 18 months is longer than a year. And that's another reason why I wanted to point it out to the judge. And you'll see it when it comes up because they'll be mentioned. But also the additional increased visitation. I don't even have my kids during the holiday. I don't even have my oldest during the holiday. When it comes to my parental rights, I'm the mother. I should be able to have them on my birthday, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I should be able to have them whenever I want them. I should be able to have them, but I don't because of this order. And they're trying to make it restricted to Bear County. Ever since they've had my son, to keep moving my son without telling me. So little do they know that if this woman gets custody, I'm putting a restriction on her. That way she can't keep moving. That's what they do. They keep moving and moving because they don't want to have to give the child back. They will move if somebody knows their address because they're scared. And then the last one, it says family wizard. If anybody, I don't know how many people are commenting, a family wizard is a little app because she can't see me. So when these court orders were made, my visits were supposed to be at KidShare, not over Zoom. So I'm hoping and praying that the judge will see, oh, KidShare. But then I can tell Your Honor, during the whole time of COVID happened, KidShare remained open because I was still supposed to call and schedule my visits. They stayed open this whole entire time. The reason why they wanted me to do Zoom, thankfully I had the option to do Zoom. I took that opportunity because the reason why I took that opportunity is because the woman was not wanting to bring them in person for me to have my visits. And I did not like that. I didn't like what she was doing. So I took up on the opportunity to have those Zoom visits so that I could stay connected with this child, because had I not stayed connected, they probably would have tried to use that against me in court to continue to take my son from me. So I took that opportunity, but it doesn't say Zoom visitation through KidShare. It says at KidShare. So I just want viewers to know that. And I got documentations that I had Zoom. So this woman needs to understand that they should have been at KidShare, not over Zoom. It put a
Somebody's asking Erica a question to you. They're putting, do you call through KidShare?
Both parties do call the KidShare. This is how KidShare works. So they'll
but,
call.
but that's how you call through KidShare, right?
Yes. I can call through KidShare. But I also have the opportunity, like for instance, back in 2017, the people that have my son, they didn't want to comply with using our family wizard. Now that this woman is suing me, they're finally using it. You know why they're finally using it? Because they don't want to have to give up on the child. They're hoping that the child will take their side. But I could tell them, look, Your Honor, I don't want to do our family wizard anymore because of the fact that they failed to sign up for this stuff back in 2017, and I paid $195. So how am I going to, after this court case, how do I know that she's going to comply with that? She's not. But anyways, I shouldn't even have to say it that way because I could say, Your Honor, I want my son back. Judge, I'm asking for my son. But yes, the way that I do communicate with KidShare. They're supposed to communicate with KidShare. I actually, what it is when visits are signed up, we have to confirm that, oh yeah, we're going to be there or we're not going to be there. So that way that they know that, that the other party can come. And there's another key to this. I got to give them like 48, okay, so if I cancel on the day of the visit, guess what? That $25 doesn't say $25. You know what it does? It goes up to $65. So more money is brought into it. And so there was this one time I was having a visit. I was supposed to have a visit, and the woman that wants my son, she contacted me not even 48 hours. She contacted me 12 hours and she said that she's gonna be like running late or she's gonna have to try to change the time of the visit. I think it was more changing of the time. And that day, Alexander was sick, the child that I have in my care. And so this woman complains if I bring Alex to go see my other son when he's sick. So I made way ahead of time, I made prior arrangements for somebody to watch my youngest so I can go over there and still see my oldest and still be able to see my oldest without having to cancel. But I contacted her respectfully way ahead of time. I contacted her and I told her, with you giving me short notice, she was rude about it. I tried to be nice about it because I tried to explain to her, look, you can't be doing that. You can't be just trying to show up or try to change something less than 48 hours. That should have been done 48 hours, not 12 hours, especially if I have to try to make proper arrangements. And she was really rude and disrespectful on that towards me.
I want to read somebody's comment right here because it's just pretty interesting what they put. So somebody put, so pay for these inflated fees, but also keep a job and a house and your current family going. No big deal. And they're just sarcasm.
Okay, I'm not mad about. Yes, that might be sarcasm, and I'm okay with that because he's just being blunt. But ever since I'm having to pay these fees, I have not lost my house. I have housing right now at this time, so I haven't lost nothing. but yes, for somebody to like for someone else to have to go through this, I understand. I get why his comment says that.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous on what they're making you do. Hey, Erica, I wonder if you can throw the argument into getting your older son on how it would be detrimental for your younger son to not come back with his older brother. Have you ever thought about that? Right?
Yeah, because I can have a good argument and tell the judge, look, I feel like it's detrimental that my two kids are not together, and it's causing a sibling bond between them two.
Yeah.
Bring sibling bond up because
they both want to be with each other. They're brothers.
Okay, so for instance, my oldest, he loves his brother. Okay. I want viewers to know, since I've had these visits, I go and see my oldest son with his brother. And in these visits, my oldest son tells me he hates me. There was this one time he wrote it down on, we were playing Hangman, and he wrote it down, and I had to stop and I had to tell my oldest son, look, I don't teach your brother that. So that's inappropriate for you to do that in a visit like that, especially with your brother around, because that's not something I teach my youngest. So I've had things like that happen to me in my visits, and they have record of it. I even have record of it. So it is noted that my son does go in there and tells me he hates me, and that and the thing, since they've had my son, he says he hates me, but he loves his brother. I tell my son every time I go see him, I love him, I miss him, I want him home. I tell him, wish you can come home. I'm asking the courts on February 1st for reunification therapy, because it may need he might need that, so that way he can understand, hey, look, your mom here loves you very much. She misses you very much. The same thing with your brother. I think it's going to be needed, because I don't know what they've told him. I'm hoping maybe one day somebody can come forward and say, like, I can't say they're 100% parentalating him for him to stay over there, but I do know, like, this woman, she don't like me fighting. The last court hearing we had, she tried to violated my First Amendment right.
Which woman are you talking about? What woman are you talking about?
The woman that's suing me. The woman that's suing me for my oldest. She doesn't like me speaking up. She doesn't like me being a voice against CPS.
Okay.
All I've done since my son has been away from me, I've been a voice.
Erica, is your older son, what's his name again? Zachary? Or is that?
No, his name is Edward.
Edward.
After his dad.
Okay, so Edward, currently he's living with your brother, or is he living with this lady Wendy? Right?
My brother at this time, my brother does not have him. He's with this woman.
Oh wow. Okay, and he's the managing conservator. And so once again, guys, right, in case there's more people just joining in. Okay, so Eric, I'm just go over it one more time, okay, just real quick. So currently where we're at here in the video is Erica's brother, right? Jeremy, right, has managing conservatorship over her older son. Okay, and as y'all can see, she has her younger son in the background there, right? So I mean, there's not a problem with her having kids, right? And she's stable. Looks like she's got a home. I mean, she's in the living room right now.
It's my bedroom.
Huh?
It's my bedroom.
Okay, this is your bedroom. Okay, well, it's a nice bedroom. So she's got a home, obviously, right? She's got a nice home, right? She has a home. She's got a roof. She's got her son. She's there for him, right? But her older son currently is with her brother Jeremy, and Jeremy is supposed to be with her brother, obviously, but he also has the power to place him wherever he wants, right? And so in this case, like, for whatever reason why he doesn't want to watch over the son no more. Okay, he's given guardianship over to some other lady named Wendy, right? But that's not what her name says on the video, right? But they just call her Wendy. Right? Everybody knows her by Wendy. Anyways, so this lady is now suing Erica, right? In court, in not in CPS court, right? In another court, right? And she's asking for her guardianship to be converted into a managing conservatorship, right? That's what they're asking.
Keep in mind, viewers, this court that he's referring to in another court, I've been in this court. That court he's referring to. It's basically it's a court that they have that's not CPS related. It's like a court you're going into when you're biological mom and dad.
It's actually civil court.
It's still civil court, yeah, but
it's family court, family law.
It's family court, but it has nothing to do with CPS no more.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play the video.
Person?
I'm assuming so.
Okay. And then lastly, the attachment B here is in regards to her child support, which she's been ordered to pay $195 a month. Has she paid that to you since 2017?
I probably got maybe about 3 payments from her. I probably got about 3 payments, and then them 3 payments weren't even. I haven't even had a full month of her paying $195 in a month. Now, due to the fact they're garnishing her income taxes, I was receiving her. I did receive her income tax, and I also received some of her first stimulus check.
Okay.
But he just told he switched it up. He said he didn't get nothing, but then he got all your stimulus check.
Yeah, can you put that on pause, Michael?
Yeah, it's on pause.
Okay, so for him to get my stimulus check and to get my tax returns, they have to put you on child support. How are they putting people on child support? oh, they're using our social security number.
But how much was your stimulus check? Did he get them all?
He didn't give, okay, so this past year, I got a stimulus check for Alex, and I made sure that none of it didn't go to them, because I don't need them trying to take all my money that I get for me and my kid.
I got you. You still, obviously, you still have a son there with you who needs to be supported. So some of that stimulus check is for him too. I understand that.
Yeah, so I did get some child tax credits for him. But when he's talking about my tax return, when he's talking about my tax returns, a tax return is given to everybody in this world, obviously. And the only way he can receive my tax return is being behind on child support. But it is actually technically a violation of my rights for me to be on child support. And the only reason why the state of Texas was able to put me on child support is because when I had my son and his dad had his son, there was no case that had jurisdiction at the time. So the crazy thing that you say that is I even have papers, Michael, at the very beginning of the case. You know what the courts did? They said, oh, you don't have to pay child support. I have that too, by the way. And so CPS is the one that put me on the child support at the very end of the case, because all this time from until June of 2017, that's when my child support I had to start paying. But prior to this case, I didn't have to pay. I was paying stuff. I bought stuff for him.
Everybody, if y'all want to see this actual video with Erica in court, I encourage y'all to check it out. It's right there on top. It's called frio.atis. Whatever that's ensign, right? Karn, right there on the top. All you have to do is search that one.
And I also have a question. I want to ask a question, and maybe somebody can post it in the comments. They can answer my question. So my question is this: if this woman was to get custody done illegally, still, as a mom who still has rights and has not signed for my baby to be anywhere, what options do I have as a mom? What options do I have as a mom? For me, like if I wanted to sign someone else, do I have that right or that opportunity to sign this with someone else besides her? That's my question.
Are you talking about conservatorship, or are you talking about guardianship, or what is it exactly?
Like just sign in general, and to make it like done in, like, do I have the option to sign somebody else
as guardianship?
Yeah.
No, not you, because you are not the managing conservatorship. Okay, you can oppose being the possessory conservator. You can definitely oppose to the new guardianship that your brother's bringing in, right? You can object to that at any point in time, right? I mean, I think we're going to come up to that part in a bit, right? But yes, as you being the possessory conservatorship, you're not in control of your son, of where he lives. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works. It's the managing conservatorship, right? Even if they're given a temporary managing conservatorship, and it's usually what they do, right? When the state comes in and takes someone's child, they automatically ask for temporary managing conservatorship over the child, and that gives them the power to place the child wherever they want, take them to the doctor, put them in school, things like that, because their powers come from that conservatorship, which is managing. That's the type of that it is, right? Possessory conservatorship. Let me give you an example of a possessory conservatorship. Okay, you're almost in the same situation as somebody that would be on child support. Okay, usually the scenario is the scenario is mom usually puts dad on child support, right? But I mean, I've seen other situations where it's vice versa, right? Regardless, right? Let's just talk about the first scenario. Okay, so in this case, when a mom has managing conservatorship over the child, and that's been established already in court, okay, not just having the kid saying, "Well, I have the kid, I'm going to put you on child support." No, I'm talking about the mom actually went in front of the judge and they gave her managing conservatorship, because that's the way it really works. Okay, so once that's established and she's a managing conservatorship, okay, dad's going to come in and say, "Well, hey, either he wants a DNA, or yes, this is my kid. Yeah, I don't have a kid right now," and then whatever. He has to be put on child support. That's what they're going to do, right? So he will basically be put as a possessory conservatorship. And this actually happens in the previous court I was talking about, like when the mom went in front of the judge and got managing. Okay, obviously, if the dad wasn't around, it wasn't going to be established for him either, right? But if he showed up in that court, then most likely the judge would give him possessory conservatorship, because he has that right. But to put somebody on child support, okay, there has to be an established conservatorship in place in order for that to be.
I just didn't know if I, with my signature, because obviously this is done illegally. They're going to try to do it illegally as well in this new courtroom, because I still ain't signing.
Yeah, well, I would definitely argue the fact. Well, let's finish this video, because I want to talk about that successor conservator.
Okay.
New perspective. Now, right, what she just did is this is the first time that the court was ever introduced with this evidence. Okay. Now, as you can see, that woman Wendy is the plaintiff. So PX2 is plaintiff's exhibit number 2, just so people understand that. Go ahead.
Okay, and can I explain to this? This document exhibit 2, plaintiff exhibit 2. I just think it's weird, because I know they're trying to cover up what they did on the termination, but now they're trying to label. This is how sickening CPS is. Right? They're trying to label my brother as a father to Edward Sr. That is the most sickenest thing. That is my brother. It's like I would never, I don't like my brother. I can't really stand my brother half the time.
Yeah, I see what
And
you're
it's
saying.
sickening. But this is what CPS does. They change their stuff to make it look like
Guys,
they change their wordings.
what Erica's talking about is that the brother named Jeremy Thomas, okay, right here on this letter, watch, it says, to who it may concern, I am currently working with the father, Jeremy Thomas. That is not the father, okay? The brother, that's what it should say. It should say, I'm currently working with the brother, Jeremy Thomas, to Erica Thomas. That's what it really should say. But instead it says, I'm currently working. So that's why Erica's kind of not.
Yeah, that's another reason why, because they're trying to cover up what they did.
Okay.
Of the termination on his real father.
Right. Do you have any? Yes. Do you have any legal objection to the admission of the petitioner's exhibit number 2, which is the?
Yeah, I do, Your Honor. It's crazy. I knew about that investigation that was going on. The CASA worker on the case that y'all saw on the order.
Ms. Thomas. Okay. The only thing I'm asking right now is, do you have an objection to the admissibility of this piece of paper? I'm not asking if you agree with it.
Yes, I do.
What is your objection to the admissibility of the petitioner's exhibit 2?
Well, the reason why I'm objecting it to it is because I want to let you know currently I have a 4-year-old boy in my custody. He is the brother of.
All right, and Ms. Thomas, again, I'm fine. That's not a legal objection. So without a legal objection, I will admit.
Wouldn't it be illegal because it's a sibling?
Okay, so guys, I'm going to explain to everybody what just happened, okay? Because I don't want people. See, we're gonna learn from this video, okay? Now I've already explained this to Erica over Messenger, over Facebook, right? Which she should have said. Okay, so when the judge asked you if you are going to object to something, right? You have to give a legal reason, right? What should have been Erica's response, right?
I'm the mom.
Yeah. What I would have said, this is what I had told Erica, was I would have told her, yes, I object to it, sir. And then the judge would have asked me, why do you object? What Erica should have said was, well, first of all, I don't even know who this woman is. Okay. I have no knowledge of who she is. And she doesn't have a background check. There's no confirmed background check. There's no home study that has been done. I don't know if she's a sex offender. I don't know who's around my child. I don't know the address and things like that. Right. So yes, I do object to it, right? And that would have been a good reason, right? Another reason why she could have objected, right? Well, not her, right? Because obviously she did see these papers. But if it would have been an instance, right, where somebody's out there and they had never saw these documents before, right? They never got it in the mail and they never had it there sent to them or explained to them, and then they're just popping it out right here on Zoom, and this is the first time. Yeah, you can say that.
I could say I wasn't properly served.
You can say well, that too, right? But I would just focus on the fact that I object, Your Honor, because I've never seen this. I've never seen these papers before. What is it that we're looking at? Has this been filed without my knowledge? I haven't had any time to even review any of this, right? Because are y'all just bringing it out right now? Yes, I do object because I'm gonna need some time to actually review these documents, right, before I even give any approval, right? That's what I would have said, right? Too, right? But anyways, let me continue, right? So that's kind of reason why Erica kind of got shut down right now. But I explained that to her, right? But she now understands that, and hopefully they don't try to do this to her again. But let's continue with the video.
Yes.
Okay, so here's another reason why she should have objected too, right? So when for any reason a vacancy occurs in the office of conservatorship, right? Because there's two offices here. Erica's the possessory and the brother Jeremy is the managing conservator. So for any reason a vacancy occurs in the office of conservator, the court may appoint a successor conservator in the manner provided in this article 2681. A petition for appointment of successor conservator may be filed by any of the reason, right? The conservatee, the spouse or domestic partner of the conservatee, right? And that's going to be right here, right? This is for Texas, right? So Erica, you're probably going to have to file a petition for appointment of successor conservator. Okay. So I don't know if you want to write that down, but that's
actually my lawyer, he filed a counter petition.
Counter petition. Tell your lawyer, right, that you want to also file a petition for appointment of successor conservator. That's
okay, hold on, let me write this down.
Right. And the reason why she wants to do this is because she's the next in line. She's the successor, right? Once the managing conservator steps down, well, you would think that the next person in line to hold the managing conservatorship would be the possessory conservator, because if the managing one can't do it, well, then the next one is in line. So she is the successor, right?
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Wendy. How long have y'all been together?
Me and Wendy, we was together for 7 years. Me and Wendy, we got into Jackson's life. Jackson wasn't even 1 yet. There was times where Erica and Senior, they were living in a trailer, probably no bigger than, I can't even explain it to you. I mean, it was very unlivable conditions.
Can you pause that video? By the way, I want viewers to know that my son's name is Edward and not Jackson. And they changed his first name to Jackson. But when I go see, this is where it's going to confuse them, because they're trying to name him Jackson. And when I come and see him, I name him Edward because that's his real name. And I don't know why but then again, now that we're back in court for this, I'm going to ask the courts for his last name to be changed to Thomas, since I've had to be the one to pay child support and have visitation all this time, and also the fact that I'm the biological mother. So I'm going to be asking the courts for the last name to be changed. Am I currently at this time? I'm not paying a dime because I want my son back, and I don't feel like this woman should have custody over my child when I have one child with me.
So we actually been me and Wendy together. We've been in Jackson's Edward's life his whole entire life.
Would you consider yourselves common law married at that time?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. We live under the same.
I do want to let y'all know that the day that my son was born was August 6, 2014. The day that my son was born, this woman walked into the birth with Jeremy. I had no clue who she was. They were only together for like 2 months, and here she comes in. I don't know if it has happened to anybody else, but I had no clue who she was. So I only know of her woman from the time, like, me and this woman don't get along, obviously. The fact is that the facts remain is she has admitted to me in the past, before CPS got involved, that she cannot have children.
Somebody in the comments is asking if Jeremy and Wendy, and they put, I didn't see that one coming. And then they put, do they hate each other now? I guess they're wondering why Jeremy and Wendy are separated.
That's the thing. As the mother to my son, I don't think they hate each other. I don't know if they hate each other. I just know that they're separated, and as far as why they are separated, I have no clue. And also, I had no knowledge of their separation because I was left out of that information. Because now she's trying to claim that she's been the one that has had him all this time when she wasn't the one that was signed.
I'm wondering why it doesn't say Wendy up there. It just says Lendra Hastings.
Okay, her real name is Lendra Hastings.
Lendra Hastings.
She
So is it Lendra? Okay, is it Lendra Wendy Hastings? Where's Wendy coming from?
That's one of the nicknames. Okay, so this woman has so many names. Wendy's a nickname. Okay, you know how people have nicknames for their names. That's what she only goes by. Her real name is.
Well, my name is Michael, and people call me Mike. I mean,
my name is Erica, and they call me Erica. They don't call me by any other. I don't have no nickname, to be honest. She goes by so many names, like Kendra Hastings, and then she goes by Wendy Hastings. She goes by Kendra Hastings Bamar.
Erica, who is this lady over here? Liche Cavazos. Who is that? Do you recognize her?
In the court, something to the judge.
Well, she looks like she's somewhere else. Well, that's a dresser in the background. She's kind of like me right in the room. Right? I guess they have the court clerk working, right?
Yep. That might not be the.
The reporter.
She might be the recorder. She might be the one that's recording everything.
Yeah. I love the comments that are coming in. I want to appreciate everybody for the comments. Whoever's making comments.
Yes, I will. I don't know if I think they might have saw my comment. I did comment at one time saying this was my video, and I'm like, please comment, please like.
But we could definitely continue this again tomorrow, Erica. I think we've been going since 5 o'clock, right?
What time is it?
How about we do a part 2, right? Because I know you got a story, and I want to give you a voice, and I don't want to cut the story just like this. Because
can we just do we have time to finish just a video today? I'd rather people watch it, and I'll just try to stay quiet.
Okay. Well, I actually have to go right now. That's why I'm saying. Yeah, but let's. I'm going to share this on my video. But I have to cut it short tonight.
Okay.
I have some things I need to take care of. But definitely, everybody. I want everybody. Please watch this video. I'm going to put the link in the description.
It might not be tomorrow that I'm going to be able to meet with you, because I got some homework assignments that I have to turn in by tomorrow at 10 p.m. Okay. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do on this assignment and submit it on time. So
right here. Okay. Well, right here we got the time. Right here we're at 3 hours and 48 minutes and 37 seconds. So we can continue from there, right? But and I'm gonna call this video part 1, right? So definitely we'll have a part 2 with you. I'm sorry I had to cut it off short, but there's some issues I need to take over now. Somebody's knocking on my door. But yes, I want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in.
And it's only gonna get interesting from here on out.
Yeah.
On this video. Unfortunately, I wish my February court date was on Zoom, because then there would be more updates as court's going on. But unfortunately, Hayes County is not doing Zoom. I wish I could submit a document for anybody who's in Texas that is able to travel to my court hearing. I'm willing to allow, obviously it's public record, so I would think everybody is invited into this court proceeding. So if it is in Hayes County. Let me see if I can get the address. I'm gonna pull up the address real quick before you end this, Michael.
Okay.
That way I can tell everybody the address.
This is CPS. This is Michael here. How's it going, everybody? So tonight we are going to do, we're doing a part 2, right, of an interview with Erica Thomas. She's right here with me on the screen right now. Right now she's got the light kind of dim because she's got her son. He's asleep in the room, right? So we don't want to wake him up, right? But she wants to finish her story. She definitely wants to let people know, the rest of her story, because I had to cut it short yesterday. I tried to give everybody the mic as long as we can do it. That's available for me, right? Even if we don't get to finish it, well, then, we can always do a part 2. I want to give everybody the opportunity to be able to tell their story the way it happened, the way nobody understands it. Because, sometimes when we're in court, right, there's only a one-sided story, right, that they're telling, what I'm saying, but we never get a chance to tell ours, right? Maybe we didn't know that we could speak the way we can speak now, but we're catching on, right? The people are catching on. Parents are definitely catching on. Okay. Now, hold on one second. I'm going to just share this to my Facebook real quick.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna share it to my Facebook one time because I don't want to be. And so that's where we're at today, in present time, right? So Erica has court again in February, and yesterday we were showing the video, one of the videos that had happened in that court.
We're still going to finish it because we weren't done, but I'm going to show him. I want to show them some documents right now.
Sure, no problem.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Erica so she can finish the story. All right, go ahead.
So I'm going to share my screen, guys. I'm going to make it a little bit big. So this form that I pulled up, it's called the Texas Department. It's the Department of Family Protective Service State College Tuition and Fee Waiver Form.
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Yeah. I can make it big. Do you need it bigger?
Yeah, it's just so that people can see.
Okay, I think that's the biggest that I can do.
Okay.
Obviously, they put a check mark because I was in their conservatorship before their 18th birthday. So I just wanted to put this on the screen because obviously I've talked a lot about foster care, and I just wanted to prove that I'm not lying. I'm being honest to viewers that are watching, because obviously CPS are liars. So I just have to, I know I shouldn't have to prove myself to viewers, but as for someone who hates CPS, I think I should.
What exactly is this document that you're showing us? I'm still
This is actually a tuition and college tuition and waiver. I am showing you this document because currently I am going to school at San Antonio College. I'm going to pull that up too. Watch. Hold on, not there. Not that. I was watching the video earlier today. That one that we were watching, because I'm going to also try to answer questions regarding people that were watching the video. So I'm going to go to my credentials because I am a student.
What college are you going to, Erica?
I'm actually going to San Antonio College.
Okay, there you go, the Alamo College District. Awesome. Well, good for you, Erica.
My courses.
Okay.
This semester, I am taking Intro to Law and Legal Professions. That is a course that I have to take for paralegal. And then I'm taking Composition 1.
Wow.
As a, and get this, I want to show, another thing, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to go to my homepage. I'm going to go to Alamo GPS tracking. And first, I've been to college before. I just gave up on it, but now I'm back.
Is financial aid covering it?
Huh?
Is financial aid covering your college, your tuition?
I do get financial aid. I don't want to say, I'm not currently getting it for other reasons, and I don't want to say at this timeline. It's more on me, not anybody else. And I don't want to say it in case people are watching this video, and I don't want it to be spread out to the people that are suing me for my son. So I want to scroll down here. I just want to let y'all know I have some college credits before 2022. So by the time this thing is up, I will have probably 9 college credits, because like I said, I grew up in foster care, and they're trying to say that I have a mental disability. But look at my classes, guys. In spring of 2008, a B. Fall of 2008, a B. I got business communication applications, a C. I'm actually, the only class that I have to take left that's basic is my math. Then guess what? I'm all college courses. I do struggle in math, but it's okay. I'm pretty sure there's other people that are struggling in math. So I'm going to exit this out because I'm just proving to y'all currently I'm a college student. I'm considered a freshman.
If
So I'm going back to
that's not an effort to be competent, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I'm going back to school to be a paralegal because of this whole bizarre thing. And so far I have A's in my classes, okay? So, okay, there's that document. Now I'm going to pull up, okay, this document is from Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. So yesterday I did mention that I filed a complaint of Offers Consumer Relationships, okay? I'm gonna read it. It says, "Dear Ms. Thomas, thank you for contacting the Office of Consumer Relationship for the Department of Family Protective Services regarding your son and his involvement with child protective investigation. A review of this case was conducted in order to ensure CPI is in compliance with program policies in relation to your concern. The OCR handled cases specific policy related complaints regarding the FPS program, including CPI. One role of the OCR is to handle each complaint in an unbiased manner and to work with state and regional DPFPS administrators to identify any area or concerns relating to DFPS policies, procedures, and any other practice to ensure DPFSPS provided high quality of service available.
Okay. According to case information, reports were received by the DFPS abuse hotline on December 25th, Christmas, guys, Christmas, 2020, and January 4th, 2021. That allegation concerned for physical abuse of Edward by his uncle, Miss Jeremy Thomas, and unrelated individuals, LaKendra Demore and Brittany Smith. On behalf of PCI, I would like to informally apologize that you were not notified of CPI's further contact with Edward on December 28th. A Zoom on it?
Yeah.
So they're admitting that they messed up.
Appreciate
okay? In a timely manner, according to PSA policies. I would further regret diligent efforts to inform you as a part of the investigation process and advise you of the allegations details regarding your son. Your son do not appear to have been made. I regret any hardship or worries that they may caused you. It's my understanding CPSI Supervisor Shonda Orman spoke with you. This is a mission that I contacted CPS, so this is evidence, guys.
Yeah, you should really follow this as an exhibit, like seriously.
Yeah, my lawyer has it. It's going to be an exhibit. I hope this conversation provided you with some resolution. Guys, there is no resolution. The resolution that I want is my son back in the home of my care. Because the reason why is because my son has been abused out of my home. Something that they were never able to prove on me. They ruled out physical abuse. Should you have questions or concern relating to modification for custody of Edward, his placement or visitation, please consult with your attorney to explore your legal options, as it is my understanding the court has previously made a ruling on the matter. Okay.
When was that dated? April 12th, 2021. Okay.
Yes. Just last year.
So, okay. Why? But your case was closed in 2017. So this is a new case that was opened up against you, and then they were just telling you that they were closing it, right? Basically.
It wasn't against me. It was more on my brother.
Oh, there was an allegation against your brother?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Alleged concerns for physical abuse. put my ruled out physical, put my investigation report of physical abuse rolled out, put this alleged concerns.
Okay. I'm barely understanding you right now. I'm sorry. I was checking my message right now, but I see what you're getting at. This is you contacting the Office of Consumer Relations.
Yep.
So you just reached out for them. Hey, you know what? You're just doing the best thing for your son. I totally understand that.
Yeah. This is me filing a complaint because I'm like, you know what? They took my son from me and this is not right. And so now I'm able to prove that physical abuse has happened out of my care, and I'm able to prove that physical abuse did not happen when he was with me.
Gotcha.
So that's easy for me to do. Okay, so let's go here. I also want to play a video of a recording that I have. Since my oldest was back, they did reach out to me, and I had a CPS worker. She was like, Erica, how did you not know of the abuse going on? I said, ma'am, my visits are currently supervised, and I can't ask those questions. My son has to tell me, and he does not tell me. So, and I don't interrogate him. I don't ask him stuff like that. I prefer him to tell me. But anyways, I am going to play a voicemail on my phone. Ever since.
Main menu. To send a message, press 2. To create a greeting, press 3. For mailbox options, press 4. For password security, press 5. For help, press 0. Sorry, 9 is not a valid entry. Main menu. To send a message, press 2. To create a greeting, press 3. For mailbox options.
And who is this on the message, Erica?
Mailbox option. For group list, press 1.
Do what?
Who is this on the message that you're trying to play? Who is this?
It was CPS related. Basically, I'm just trying to show that CPS called my phone. I had a voice recording, but I can't find it right now, but it's okay. And I also had the cops call me too, obviously, because a criminal case got open. And then let me see. Oh, by the way, look at this. Remember how I told you we were playing Hangman? Look at this piece of paper, Michael.
Is you and your older son or younger son?
My older son.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a picture of that too. I had to stop it because I already figured out what it was, and I said, no, we don't play like that. But yeah, there's that. And then, Michael, look at this document. Let's zoom in it right here, right? This woman wants to say she was married to my brother, but look what she writes on paper. And she signed the document.
When was this filed? What date is this?
This was filed 2/16/2021.
Okay, so this is a new case. Petitioner support an affidavit. Okay, so I want to say that there was, okay, so obviously she filed a petition against you, and this is her petitioner's supporting affidavit, right? Great.
Yeah, but look at it. Look what it says. In 2017, CPS court terminated the child's father's parental rights and limited neglect. Respondent's mother's right to supervise visits and to pay child support due to allegations of neglect as well as domestic violence.
I see that you're in the 218th district. Over there.
Yeah, in Hayes County. They like I said, Wilson County transferred to Hayes County.
So this is the lady who's suing you, the Kendra Hastings, right?
Yeah, she's the one that's suing me. But look, on this documentation.
Do you mind if I read that document to everybody?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so everybody, this document is titled Petitioner Support and Affidavit. This is the document that the lady who's suing Erica, right, for custody of her son. It says Lendra Hastings Demore, right, appeared in person before me today and stated under oath, my name is Lendra Hastings Demore, right, I am above 18 years old, right, and I am fully competent to make this affidavit. The facts stated in this affidavit are within my personal knowledge and true and correct. This is the basic introduction of all affidavits, right? And then she goes on to say, I am the petitioner in this case, right? It's because she filed the case against her, right? Obviously, right? It's interesting on top how it says that this is Exhibit A, right? So her affidavit is listed as an exhibit. Okay, so then it says the child has resided with me since he was a. Can you make it a little bit bigger, Erica? Sorry. There you go. The child has resided with me since he was a year and a half, and he currently resides with me. In 2017, CPS Court terminated the father's parental rights and limited respondents' rights to supervise visits and to pay child support due to allegations of neglect as well as domestic violence. My ex-boyfriend Jeremy Thomas was named permanent managing conservator of the child. He has since voluntarily relinquished to my care because he feels that it is in your best interest. Okay, you can scroll a little bit up so I can see. Okay, so he's no longer to take care of Edward, and we both feel that Edward should be raised by me, and I have cared for him most of it, if not all his life. So my ex-boyfriend, Jeremy Thomas. So obviously they're not married anymore. She's calling him ex-boyfriend, Jeremy Thomas, right?
They're saying in court, oh, he's my common law, but on paper, claiming ex-boyfriend.
Oh, this is crazy. Wow, let me see. CPS Court terminated child's parental rights, and so his real biological father, Edward Jr., right? He relinquished his parental rights. That's obviously what this is saying, right?
He didn't relinquish. The courts terminate him.
Oh, okay. They terminated.
Guess who they needed my help to terminate?
Who's
they
that?
asked me to help them.
What do you mean? Can you explain that?
Okay, so apparently CPS wanted his rights terminated, and they asked me. They told me, "Hey, if you terminate your son's father's rights, you can keep yours."
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
So
what they could have done is at that court hearing, they could have given me full custody, make his dad pay child support, and case closed.
Wow.
But that's what they should have done.
So you ended up in the end being the last one, right? Obviously the dad, they terminated his rights. And how did that happen? Did y'all go to trial?
We went to a jury trial.
So in front of some people, and I guess he was proved to be unfit, obviously.
Yeah. The crazy thing you say about that is he's been proven unfit. I would like to add, at that very first court hearing that we had, that you asked me about, he went to jail. That very first court hearing, he went to jail after court. He has the nerve to show up because he was on parole, probation, something like that, for drug related issues, and so they arrested him. But after that, he was going to Bexar County because of me. I pressed as the mother. I felt like it was the right thing to do at the time to press criminal charges on him because he left me with bruises and he took my son to Dallas. So I pressed charges on him, and so after he from Floresville, Texas which is Wilson County, he went to Bexar County jail, and from Bexar County jail he didn't get out until September or August of 2016, and I was pretty much done with my services by then. All I had to do was continue therapy. That was it, and they gave me an extension. And they tried to say that I wasn't in compliance when I was in compliance this whole entire time. I jumped through hoops and hoops. So there's that documentation.
So Erica, they basically, what kind of services did CPS ask you to do?
I did parenting. I did two parenting. I did parenting for my case on Edward, and then they asked me for the family-based worker for Alex. She asked me to do parenting again, which was okay. I was okay with doing it because it was going to help me out because at first I wasn't getting any child support or anything from Alex's father at the time. I had a job. They did help me with daycare. I had a job, but I took these extra parenting classes because where I did them at, you earn so many points and they'll help you with like pull-ups and diapers and stuff like that. So I did it. So I was getting stuff that I needed for my baby. So that's another reason why I did it. But they had me do therapy classes. They had me do like a psychological evaluation. They wanted me to get a psychiatric evaluation. There's a psychological where it's like a 4-hour test and they test you. And then you have to go get a psychiatric evaluation where they try to put you on medication for it too. And then
did they ever try to use any of that against you?
Do what?
Did they ever try to use any of that against you?
They were trying to use my mental health against me, but the CPS worker in Kerrville, apparently they got my notes and the psychiatric doctor said at this time I didn't need medication. Hello. I didn't need medication, but I'm like on medication now.
Erica, the whole point of all those psychological evaluations and psychiatric evaluations or psycho evaluations or whatever they want to give you, right? The whole point of that is because they're trying to establish if you're competent. They want to see if there's competency, right, within you, right, to be able to manage, the children or your child. That's basically all what that is, right? And of course, they're trying to find you incompetent, right? If that's what their real goal is, right? Because if they can find you unfit, right? Because if you're not at a mental capacity to watch your children, then that's grounds for not being able to have your children returned to you. And that's what they try to establish with a lot of parents,
Oh well, so that's the thing that's crazy that you ask. Like, so how I managed to take care of Alex for 5 years. There's times where I've had to hire people myself to babysit, and I did my background check so that I have my butt covered on that end, because anything that we do as parents, it falls on us. If our child gets abused by somebody, it falls on us. So I've had to make sure I have my butt covered, and I've had my butt covered ever since I've had my little boy with me. And so there's times where I've quit my job or started a job, or I've had to quit that job because I've had to, my number one job is a mom, and being a mom to being a single parent, it's not an easy job. Not everybody can do it. Some people can, some people can, some people can't. I'm somebody that's not going to complain about it because I'm the one that brought them into this world. So I don't complain. So there's those documents. And then I want to pull up, let me see if I can access this. I'm gonna let you explain this to everybody because you're the one that taught me this. Okay, Michael, what is this? I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. What are those documents, Michael?
Okay. Okay, well, so those documents that you were showing to me right now, can you share the screen again? Can you go back to it? Are you still?
I should still, let
Okay,
me
there you
stop
go.
it, and then hold on. Let me share it.
Okay, yeah. So those documents right there, those are the certified mail receipts. I know that. I'm sorry.
Where do you get them?
Yeah, those are from the post office, the United States Post Office. Yes. I want to say you mailed something. What was it that you mailed, Erica?
I served them. Once this woman sued me for my son, I had like a certain amount of time. I don't know exactly how many days it is that you have to file an answer before anything happens. So I filed my answer and I said, I'm going to show up and I'm going to appear to every single case that there is regarding Edward. Of course I'm going to be there. That's my son.
What was your response? What was the name of the document that you wrote?
I just sent him this green card. That was my way of answering. And I submitted other documentations.
These are things that you mailed to them, but what exactly was it that you mailed them?
I mailed them some paperwork. Like I had to mail an answer, of course. I had to file a response because I had so many days to respond to the papers that they served me with.
Okay.
So I had to file an answer. So I filed an answer, and that was how I was able to do it. I also certified mail. When you do certified mail, they have to sign for this, and then they have to mail you that green card back. Those were just receipts that I did it. I got the green card. Obviously I don't have them right in front of me, but I did get them back, so they know they got them. And then I've had to do that. So
let me explain for everybody, right? And so everybody can understand what it is Erica did. So obviously she got sued and she was brought to court, right? And she wanted to file the response, right? So she went and filed some paperwork in court, right? And that was her response. And then after that, she got her copies of that, and then she went and mailed them off to this lady, right? Because obviously she has her address too, right? And she did it certified mail, right? Because you have to remember the steps, guys. Okay, you can't just file something in court, right? And then think the other side's going to get it, right? Because that's not how it works, right? Now the judge will see it. Now that's true, okay? But the fact that you just file something, okay, you're still obligated to serve the other side, right? And you can do it certified mail, right? You can do it registered mail too, right?
And you have to do both parties. Like the top one is New Braunfels. Obviously, that is her lawyer. Is for her lawyer to sign.
Okay.
So her lawyer did get it. So I properly served her lawyer because she hired her lawyer, and then I properly served the courthouse.
Okay. You served the courthouse. What do you mean? You sent it to the courthouse?
Yeah, I served my answer to the courthouse and to the. I had to serve all parties.
Okay. Well, in this case, Erica, the parties would be and I want to say it's just her versus you, right? That's what I'm saying. So you can just and I know it's possible to send stuff to the clerk too, but be in contact with the clerk, right, guys? If you choose to do this route, there's several ways that you can file things, right? It just all depends on what courthouse you're at and what they're going to accept, right? So you can serve things by fax, by e-file, by fax, right? And then you can serve them. I remember before whenever all this COVID stuff started happening, right? We would send me and Jojo would send documents to the clerk, straight up to the clerk, right? Certified mail, right? And then we would include a letter saying that this is what we wish to file, right? And the clerk would have to sign for it, right? Because they were literally trying to block the entrance to the courthouse over there in Caldwell, Texas, right? They weren't allowing people to go in. They literally put like a whole bunch of tables and like a whole bunch of metal machines, and I don't know, it was like you could not get to the district clerk's office, right? You just couldn't do it, right? And then instead they left some drop boxes, these metal drop boxes, where they had signs on there, right? For district clerk here, for district attorney here, for whoever it is here, right? Like it was like 5 boxes or something like that, and it was just ridiculous, right? Because I was like, if we stick these documents inside this box, I don't think that's considered by law filing. That's just sticking something in the box, right? So we didn't feel comfortable doing that, right? So we served the district clerk, right? This is like in the beginning when COVID had all started, right? So anyways, go ahead, Erica.
I also e-filed stuff because I have a friend. Unfortunately, she's a paralegal herself. I'm not going to be able to identify herself because she's technically not supposed to do this stuff. She did it because she's my friend and she actually hates CPS too. But I don't want to say her name because I don't want people to like try to contact me like, can you help me? Can you help me? and I don't want her to lose her job either. And it's because she worked so hard to be a paralegal. She was also in the system too. So that's why she became a paralegal, because when you become a paralegal, unfortunately, when you're a paralegal, I learned this already in court. Once I am certified to be a paralegal in the state of Texas, I am not allowed to be in court. I would have to have a lawyer go to court to represent me, but I'll be the woman behind the desk doing all this stuff. Unfortunately, I'm sorry guys, I might be the woman that does the dirty work, but I'm also could be the one that's the nice work too. So it depends on the case. And also what areas of law I want to do, because there's different laws. There's not just criminal law, family law, there's personal injury law, there's real estate law, there's will laws, there's different laws out there, and I'm learning them all. Because then I could say, you know what, I'll go work for I'll see if I'll like family law for a little bit. Probably not going to like it so much because of the stuff that I've been through with it. But yeah, so there's
Erica,
that.
Hey, Erica, the court's over there where you're at. And I know the last time, several months ago, I was there in, like maybe more than a year ago in San Antonio, Texas. And I remember that the courts were open. So how are the courts treating everybody out there? Is it still open to go in there and file documents? Is it still pretty simple? Or
I don't know. Like I said, I e-filed. Oh, and get this, I e-filed some documents with my friend because she knew how to do that. And while I was e-filing, me and her noticed that there's two petitioners. There's the petitioner, the one that's suing me, and the one that sued me before. And it's a lawyer for the CPS case, and now the petitioner is the woman that's suing me. So just letting y'all know that I got two petitioners, because technically the case is not closed until the legal case is not closed until the judge dismisses it. Just so y'all know. And obviously this is a case what we're going to go over. I just screenshotted that because I wanted to show it up on my computer. And then this is the motion to set. I'm going to zoom in so that way Michael could see.
And everybody, that's me on Facebook. So hit me up.
That is Michael on Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, Michael, so that way you can note down the date of court. And then I'm going to let people just, because I'm pretty sure somebody from Texas is going to see this and might want to appear on my behalf or just be there for moral support. I'm all for moral support, guys, because I really do need it. I've had a long fight through this all. And that's another thing. So I want to review that. Another way you can serve somebody is through email. It doesn't have to just be by mail.
That's right. The Supreme Court of Texas has said that you can serve someone to their email, but it has to be a most recent email from them. You can't just send it to an email and say, "Hey, that's theirs," and it's just like it really isn't. It has to be proven that it's their latest email.
My brother and them, they're going to receive hate mail.
So what is this? What is this document? What is this document that we're looking at right here? This motion to set.
This is a motion to set.
To set what?
The motion to set for court.
Is it just saying? Hold on.
That I'm going to court on February 1st, and we're going to have 2 hours and a half to talk.
Who filed this? The Move-ins Council. The way they named it, right? The Move-ins Council.
Yeah. So another thing I'm going to pull up is I'm going to pull out.
You notice how it didn't say attorney bar number, SBN state bar number, right?
Yeah.
It didn't put her. I mean, I question who this lady really is. Is she really an attorney? I mean, obviously she's representing as counsel.
Well, that was my attorney, but he is attorney.
Oh, okay.
So here's Hastings County. This is public record, guys. I'm pulling up to pull it public record. If you know the case number, you can put the case number. If you know it, you can put it here. But I just go, there's a section where it says attorney, party, and case. I'm a party of I'm on the party. So all I got to do is type in my last name. The reason why I'm showing this, guys, is because this is going to show everything that is filed that I'm able to see. Unfortunately.
You're looking at your case right now?
Yes. So the case, okay. So if you see that the cause number 210863, on old paperwork with CPS, it was different. It got the cause number changed because it switched to different counties. Okay. I noticed that too. And I'm like, what? And so obviously the petitioner, she wants to have her address covered, but I already got it because it's in CPS file. So I don't understand why it's covered. But I'm also, she has an attorney.
This is your case, right? This is your case right now?
Yes.
Okay.
She hired her lawyer. And then I'm the respondent. There's my lawyer. Then Jeremy is also a respondent, but he's pro se. So he's unprotected, guys. He doesn't have a lawyer. So my lawyer could go in there right now.
Okay. So now I'm seeing it. Okay. So then your brother is so she's suing both your brother and you, right?
Yeah.
Petitioner. But you know what? In reality, she's not really suing him. They're working together. He's allowing this, right? That's all it is. It's just by law, she's obligated to bring both of the conservators into court. That's all it is, right?
Okay. But he's pro se, but my lawyer could also easily attack my brother really good and start asking him questions about how did you become management, conservatory. He could really go down in detail. But this is everything that's been filed. Obviously, you'll see that the case was originally from Wilson County. It got transferred to Hays County. There is a final order of suit affecting the parent-child relationship. There's the petition to modify parent-child relationship, motion to transfer, petition supporting affidavit. This is me. This is what I sent, a civil citation, motion of temporary orders and notice of hearing, a respondent's original answer, waive of service, affidavit PX3, affidavit PX3A, First Amendment motion to transfer, request for removal of role information. I found out that she's been hanging around with somebody who has criminal records, guys. Like, really? And I don't really want my son around that, but she's trying to request that to be removed.
Can you make that bigger, Erica?
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on one second, guys. I gotta borrow this charger so I can plug in my other phone.
I'm trying to figure out how to make it big.
If you press Control plus sign, it'll make the screen bigger.
Control. Yeah, this is just everything that's been currently filed. Apparently, she knows she's not going to give up. She knows I'm not going nowhere. So it's going to be a battle, guys. I really know it is. But this is the work my lawyer has done so far. Oh, guess what, guys? Apparently, I filed an affidavit of myself. Then I have an affidavit from Beth Stahl. My friend Beth Stahl, I've known her for years. She's actually, get this, guys, she's a wife to a pastor. This person watched me get baptized in March of 2004 while I was in foster care. So we've been friends ever since. And for a while we were disconnected for a little bit. It wasn't because we were mad at each other. It wasn't like that. It's because she moved from Bernie, Texas, because that's where I lived when I met her. But now she's back in that area. And so there's that. And my lawyer is saying that that's not going to work, that she has to show up. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry. I'm reading. I was reading your documents right here. Can you say that to me again?
The affidavit of Beth and affidavit of Erica. You don't think that's going to work?
Who's that? Who's Beth?
Huh?
Who's Beth?
She's my friend that was going. She's writing an affidavit of. She's like a character witness.
Okay.
But in writing. And she got it notarized.
What is it that you're asking?
My lawyer is saying that's not going to work.
What's not going to work?
She has to be in court.
I don't understand. What are you trying to do with her affidavit? Are you trying to submit her affidavit in court?
Yeah, I did, but
okay.
I submitted it in court for the judge to see it.
Okay. And how did you do that? Did you do it as an attachment, or did you do it as an exhibit, or did you just file it by itself?
We filed it as an affidavit.
By itself. You didn't put a sticker on it that said, I don't know. The judge might take notice of it, okay, but the judge might not even recognize it either because it's from a non-party person. Now, if you wanted, here's another way you can do it, right? So it can be acknowledged, right? You're going to have to write an affidavit, okay, and you're going to have to attach her affidavit as an exhibit or as an attachment to your affidavit. So now you're getting your witness's testimony on the record. See, it gets.
Well, I do have one person. I do have somebody that's coming in person to testify on my behalf, and that's great. She's working on what she wants to say because she has a hard time. She doesn't like speak. So you know how some people don't like speaking in public. She's one of those people that does not. So she's writing out everything that she wants to say, and she's hoping that the judge will let her read it instead of like trying to like.
I would subpoena her to court so that everybody takes notice of who it is that you're bringing into the court. Because if you just try to bring witnesses to court without notifying anybody, okay, they might object to it and they might not get a chance to speak. Okay, so if you want to bring someone in,
my lawyer said I can bring them. We don't need a subpoena.
Okay. Go with the
but I'm gonna still suggest that.
It's because I've seen this happen before. That's why I'm telling you, Erica. Okay, so but if your lawyer is telling you this, okay, but I have seen witnesses. Okay, I've brought my mom and dad to court. I've brought several other people to court, and they were not allowed to speak in court because they're not a party to the case, and I didn't give anybody notice. That's what they told me, right? So I'm just trying to prepare you for that.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know because I already talked to my lawyer and I told him, hey, I want people coming and I want them subpoenaed, and he's like, you don't have to. They can just come speak. But
let me know how that goes.
I'm going to let my lawyer know that. I'm going to tell him, look, if it don't work out, I want to reset this court date because I'd rather people be able to speak up on my behalf.
Yeah. And if I was you, whoever it is that you're bringing to court, I would definitely have them write their own affidavit. And once again, you need to write your affidavit and then attach their affidavits to yours as an exhibit or as an attachment, right?
Okay.
Because that's one way I know how to do it. But just getting in the whole concept of this is that you can't just bring someone to court and expect them to speak, right? Because the other side's just going to argue that they didn't have any time, right, to hear what your witness was going to speak about. There's no way for the other side to
well, the other side already had their opportunity. They had it in Wilson County.
Yeah, but this is a new court case.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, if they do argue about it and she can't bring any witnesses, then if she doesn't have any witnesses to bring to court, and I don't,
it's just like you, Erica. If you see the other side bringing witnesses up, I would just object to them. Objection, Your Honor. I didn't have any time to. I didn't have any knowledge of this. I didn't know that she was going to be here. I would have prepared myself. If I would have known I was be up against. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't ready for court that day when we had it in Wilson County, but her attorney weren't one unless I had an attorney, because then my attorney could have shut her down and be like, my client's not ready. We're not ready.
And it's civil court. You're never ready. And that's one way to get the court to be postponed, right? Your Honor,
right.
Isn't this civil court? I'm not ready. I need more time. Right?
Okay,
so another, excuse, though.
So I want to go back to, I'm going to stop sharing. Because I want to go big. So I took like screenshots of people from last video, and I wanted to see if I can respond, because I know some people are having a hard time understanding of what they were trying to observe, and I wanted to like answer if they had any questions, so that way they can have a better understanding. Hold on, I gotta go to, because I screenshot these to my phone. A screenshot has been like my best friend throughout this whole case. Screenshot, because it works.
Why don't you just read it? What does it say?
It says it's my dad's divorce decree, and it just shows when they got divorced. And guess what? On this divorce record, he has other children involved. I have
What is it that
I
you're
have
trying?
three
What is
other
it that you're trying to
siblings.
find out?
Huh?
What is it that you're trying to find out?
No, I'm
because
just showing viewers that basically I was born into. Okay, so my mom and my dad got together while he was married. His wife just left him. And so, like, before I found this out, because, like I said, after I turned 18, I was searching for answers, and I wanted answers. My dad told me he never molested me. He actually told me the story how he met my mom. And the truth is, he met my mom while he was still married at the time. And my mom was technically supposed to be on birth control, but my mom tricked him. And that's when I was almost going, my mom was fixing to have an abortion on me, but it did not happen because my dad stayed around until it was too late. So that happened. And then my mom is the one that had my mom, I was trying to pull it up in Bear County because my mom, she filed for child support because she knew my dad wasn't going to stay because he was married. And so while I was in foster care, that's when my dad got a divorce. And then while I was in foster care, my therapist at Meadowlands, which is in Bernie, Texas, which is contracted by CPS, it's considered a residential treatment center. They have lots of kids. Some of the kids, their rights on their parents were terminated. Sometimes parents goes and have their visits there. I don't know if some of the parents can pick up the kids from there for a little bit and go off campus and then bring them back. I don't know the stimulations. I was one of those kids that I couldn't go nowhere because my rights, I was under conservatorship by CPS. So there's different ways that people can get conservatorship. You can be conservatorship with CPS, or you can choose a person that you want conservatorship with.
How old were you when you were in Meadowlands, Erica?
Oh,
I'm familiar with that place. That's a behavioral residential clinic treatment center. It's for kids that are acting out, right?
It's for kids. Well, yes and no. Some kids are on medicine and some of them are not. I've had actually, I don't know if you know, Michael, but across the street now is the police station. Yep. Back in the day when I was there, that police station was not there. The reason why the police station was there, I can tell you why, because I was there. The foster children would run away. I had several friends of mine that ran away from there. That is why they built the police station right across the street now. That's why the police station is there, because they don't want runaways trying to escape. And another reason why they don't want people to escape is because it's not gated. It has a white picket fence, but it's not gated. And the crazy thing is, I'm 32 years old and they allow me on campus. I'm able to walk on campus at that place, and they all know me there. And that's the crazy part. They all know me there, and they all know my situation. And it's like they haven't kicked me out on that campus.
Erica, were you adopted out?
No, I was not adopted out.
You aged out.
I aged out.
Oh wow.
Also, I was gonna that document that I showed you about how the school is paying.
That's what I was about to tell you. It's the government is still paying for your college to this day because you're in foster care, correct?
Yes. That's why the document that I pulled up on my email.
Yeah, I remember the document.
I'm going to scroll down to the document. There's another reason why I want to scroll down to it, Michael. I'm going back to it right now. Can you see my screen? See this? Michael Elliott, PAL, Regional 8 PAL staff. That's part of the PALS program. This is where it all come from. So basically, Regional 8 CPS right here in Bear County is paying for my college. And then I just wanted to add, during my visitations to Edward, they had me visit, at the very beginning of the case, they had my visits at KidShare. And then they transferred them to a visitation place. I'm going to pull up the main building where I had my visits. There's an explanation to it, okay? I even know the courthouse where my dad and stepmom, I remember the courthouse exactly too, where I had to go to court for,
You had to go to court as a child?
Yeah, they had me go to court. So see this lovely building right here, guys? I'm going to pull it up in the
That's the main office in San Antonio.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the main office that I had my visits with Edward.
This is a CPS office, right? But
yeah, and I think I'm going to
present
this to the judge. I'm going to tell the judge they had me have a visit at the CPS office here, the main office. I'm going to tell the judge I was 3 years old in the same office having my visits, where I remember was the last place I saw my family.
Erica, correct me if I'm wrong, but because I know you were a foster child back then. But that building, is it true from what I've heard? They actually house children there too in that office building. There's like dorms in there or rooms in there.
I'm not 100% sure. on that, when I went to see my son, I went into this visitation. They do have a lot of office spaces, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did house children in there, because they do. That's a big building.
It's rumored to have to house children there. Just I've heard that.
Okay.
Very reliable source.
I'm not 100% sure, but like I said, that is the main building I had to see my oldest. Okay. I felt like this was torture, guys. The same building where I last saw my parents was the same building where I saw Edward. So going in there, it was rough. I did well going in there. I had to hide my feelings while I was in there. But as soon as I walk out of these two doors right here, you see a big old parking lot full of cars. I had a car parked in there, and I had to sit in my car before actually taking off, and I cried. And I cried. But then there was this one time I told myself, you know what? I need to listen to God's music right now. There is a song that touched my heart, and it was by it's a Christian band. I got to think of the band. It's a really good song. What is it? I'm going to think of the name of it. And then I can't think of it, but then I'm going to remember it.
Erica, when is your next court date for your older son?
February 1st.
February 1st
of this year.
Okay, so it's coming up in a couple of days, huh?
Yeah.
What is your attorney written for you? Is it a man or is it a woman? Your attorney?
It's a man.
Okay.
Women don't like me, obviously. For some reason. Okay, I think this is the reason why. Okay, so in my CPS case, everybody was a woman in my case. I kid you not, except for the dad.
Erica, whenever you're done sharing the screen, you can just press stop sharing so we can see you.
Okay.
There you go.
So during my CPS case, it was all women. Even the judge was a woman. My attorney was a woman. The CPS worker was a woman. Her attorney was a woman. The child ad litem was a woman. The child's attorney was a woman. The only man in that courtroom was the man for my son's father.
His attorney.
That was all that was there. I felt like I was ganged up. And the reason why I felt like I was ganged up is because, you know how I said I don't believe my dad was molested? I don't believe my dad molested me. But the CPS tried to blame my oldest son's father on molestation charges, but he's never been arrested. Keep in mind, not criminally. He's never been arrested. The allegations is that he molested his own niece, guys. His own niece. The grandma to that niece has told me, no, ma'am, it was not her. It was not him. He told the grandma, because the grandma told me who it was. The grandma told me who it was because her granddaughter spoke up. Keep in mind, the granddaughter is my oldest son's father's niece. His sister had a CPS case too. During that CPS case, the niece of my oldest son's father stayed quiet. She didn't want to speak up about who molested her or anything, but she finally had the nerve to only tell the grandmother. And so it's been secretly hiding, but CPS thinks that my son's father did it. And so I think that's one of the reasons why these women hate me, because I was around somebody who possibly molested children. And then another thing is woman.
You're not with him, the father, anymore.
No, I'm not with the father anymore. And even if that was to come up in court, I'm going to tell the judge, Your Honor, I have a reason to believe that it was not. I'm not sticking up for him in any way, but to clear me out of it, I'm going to tell the judge, Your Honor, I don't believe that A, my son was ever molested by his dad. 2, I don't believe his dad molested. I'm going to tell the judge, if I'm going to find a way to be able to point it out, so that way I can be not guilty of being around a man who is a pedophile, because that's what they're trying to label.
But he's not a registered offender anyways. You know what I'm saying?
He's not a registered offender anyways. So that's B. He's not a registered.
There needs to be solid evidence. You know what I'm saying? There can't just be
allegations.
Hearsay. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're doing, because what they're doing is they're defaming his character. They're bringing slander, and you can be sued for that. Not only that, somebody needs to testify to that, to what claim they're bringing. And then when they do that, and if they lie and they do it under the penalty of perjury, you can actually sue them, right, in federal court under the False Claims Act if they're a government worker or they're an officer, right?
Yeah, and they brought it up, and they asked me, do you think it's safe to have your child around that? Do you think his rights should be terminated around that? And I wanted his rights terminated. It wasn't the fact that it's possible that he did those things to that child. I don't know if he really did or did it not. I don't know the 100% truth, because I don't know of that. I only know of that incident. I don't know about the incident, if it happened or didn't happen, because I'm not a CPS investigator. I don't investigate. I don't work for CPS. I'm not a contractor with CPS.
I try to keep things simple. What evidence you got?
Yeah.
You got any video, any audio, any testimony, any written affidavits, any first-hand witnesses, or any first-hand knowledge? I mean, let's just be real. Let's just cut all the bull. You know what I mean? What do you got? You know.
And that's okay. So I just wanted to point that out. That's probably why I think all these women hate me in that court. But now I'm in a new court, and I know that once I enter new facts into court, it's not going to be the same. Okay. So one of the things that I learned in school, right, I'm going to share with y'all. Just because I had a CPS case doesn't mean that I'm going to get the same results prior to that case. Once I tell the judge facts, that can be entered into the courts, it can come out to a different result. The word there's a different definition of different. It is the in my book, what I learned in chapter 1, the definition of different in the court's eyes is distinguishable. It's a distinguishable is how you say it. Meaning, if it's different, the outcome of the case is not going to be the same as the prior case. Does that make sense, Michael?
I'm not understanding what you're trying to say. What is it that you're trying to explain?
Okay, so let me get my book. Hold on. I have it with me. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to share the screen. Maybe not this way, not this. Okay. Can y'all see this paper?
No, it's very blurry.
Okay.
Why
I'm
don't you
going to
just
read
read
you a
it?
definition. Distinguishable. What the definition means different. I'm going to read what it says. If the facts are scientifically different, okay, the two situations are distinguishable. It is likely that the results in the client's case will not be the same as the results reached in the prior case. So once I enter facts into the courts, most likely I'm not going to get the same outcome like I did last time.
Where are you reading that from? Where's that definition? Is that the definition for distinguishable?
Yes.
Or is that okay?
That's a definition, and I was reading it.
What book is that? What book is that right there?
I'm doing so the class that I'm doing is I don't have the textbook in front of me because I'm having people make
No,
copies.
that one right there. That one right there. Chapter
This
1. What
is
book is
chapter
that?
1, intro to the study of law.
Can you close the book? Can we see the cover? Oh, that is the cover.
It's just chapter 1.
Okay.
I don't have the book right in front of me.
Okay.
In front of me.
Well,
But I'm
what's
going to show you
what's the name of that book?
I'll pull you up the book. Hold on. I'm going to show you. I'm going to share the screen.
I'm always interested to know.
Oh yeah, I don't mind sharing. I'm not licensed yet. It can't keep me from saying. I have my first test that I have to do on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And I have to get a good score because then they give me a certificate.
Hey, Eric, are you doing these classes online or are you actually going in person?
One of them is online.
Okay.
One of them is online all semester. The other one is currently online until I can go back in person.
Oh, okay.
And I'm doing them. I'm doing them in the time frame where my youngest is in school.
I guess what I'm wanting to know is these classes that you're doing. Have you actually gone in person in an actual classroom? Is what I'm trying to.
In the back when I went to school at Northwest Vista back in the day, I did. So I've been in a classroom setting, so I know how it works.
Okay.
Of being in classroom, but one of my classes. This is actually my first time taking an online course, and so like, guess what?
And how long is this course to be a paralegal?
It can take about this whole okay, so this course that I'm taking is just this semester, but that doesn't mean I'm done with my degree. I'm getting an associate's degree. So associate's degree is 2 years.
Okay.
It's going to take me longer because I'm only trying to do either 2 classes semester or 1, depending on how I do it.
I know.
I'm not trying to go all barged on my brain. My brain kind of works slow.
You'll get there, Erica. I believe you really will get there. You have the ambition. You really do.
Okay, so this is my English class. I'm going to go to this one.
I'm looking at the time over there at your screen and it says 12:03 a.m. in Texas.
I know.
It's
Okay,
10:03. It's 10:03 over here in California. So
so this is my class. I am this professor. She has been doing this class for 17 years. So this is the syllabus. I'm going to go to modules.
Everybody, the reason why Erica is doing all this college stuff, being paralegal, study of law, and what she's doing is because of the stuff that she's went through. She went through foster care. She was a foster child. She was removed by CPS. At the age of 3. She aged out. She's been through the system. She's been through these behavioral residential treatment centers, whatever you want to call them, at Bernie, Texas, Meadowlands, right?
I didn't have documentation of the. I have medical documents, but I don't want. How do I zoom in to make it a little bit bigger?
Control +sign. Required textbook. And do you have that textbook?
Currently, I do.
I would love to share that on my YouTube.
So
I'll be talking to you.
Actually, the papers that I'm holding up in my hand are from the textbooks.
But we can't see what you're holding up in your hand. You can only see the screen.
Okay, hold on. So this picture, this thing that I'm holding is actually chapter 1.
Okay.
Of my work. It is a lot of reading. There's going to be a lot of reading. There's going to be a lot of writing. There's going to be a lot of studying. It is a lot of work to be a paralegal. It is not the easiest job, but I'm trying to learn it and learn it good. Because I really want to do this. Like if I become a paralegal, CPS is going to leave me alone because I'm going to be making like $50,000 a year, and I'm not going to be able to be in court. But I can have a lawyer represent me, but I'll be the one that does the dirty work.
Well, why do you say that you will not be able to be in court? Where are you getting that from? Because if I wanted to sue a paralegal, I kind of feel like I can.
It's this paper right here. I don't
Does it say somewhere in there that I can't sue a paralegal?
Yeah, it's in this one or it's in chat. Okay, no, I'm reading. Okay, so guys, I've really been doing a lot of studying. I'm taking notes. I'm reading PowerPoint presentations. It says, okay.
Now, are you saying they can't sue you as a paralegal? Like if you were working for a firm and then they just didn't like your work personally at your job, right? They didn't like. Are you saying they can't sue
I
you as
don't
a
think.
paralegal?
Okay, so this is what it says.
But on the private side, if you did something to someone, I'm pretty sure they can bring you into court and sue you. You know what I mean?
This is what it says. Paralegals, they can't represent a client because we're not attorneys. We work under the attorney. That's what a paralegal does. We work as independent contractors. I can make the advantages. I can work on. I could choose the projects that I want to work on. So, like for instance, if I want to do family law, I can work as a paralegal under a family law attorney, and I get to make my own hours.
What exactly does a paralegal do, Erica? Can you explain that to us?
You see all those motions and petitions and all that?
Yes.
That's going to be me. I get to type all that stuff up.
Oh, okay.
Fun, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I would know what documents to file and what documents not to file. So if CPS was to mess with me, I can learn how to be like, okay, if they're going to continue to try to get me for slander, I can type up a slander letter and I can send it over to my lawyer and they can sign it and bam, they got a slander notice on their butts.
So it seems like the paralegals are the ones that do a lot of the work on the download.
Yeah, unfortunately, paralegals do a lot of the work. What we cannot do is we cannot sign the documents. The lawyers are the ones that have to approve and sign the documents. But unfortunately, you know how people say the system is corrupted. Well, it is corrupted. But unfortunately, if I was to go into family law, I would be the one that does make documents legally, and I'd be the one that making documents illegally. So I'd be the one that kind of be like doing the dirty work. So please don't hate me. I don't think I'm going to be doing family law though. I might try it out, see if I like it. If not, I can always change. That's a good thing about being a paralegal. But I was trying to read in my notes because I'm in chapter 2, and it says there's a reason why. I think the reason why they don't allow paralegals in court is because we know the law. We're not an attorneys, but we know the law. We're the ones that make up the papers.
How long have you been doing this in college?
This is my second week.
Second week. Okay, you just started. That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
And get this, guys. I want to share my screen again. It's only going to get interesting time after time after time because I'm going to go to my modules. And if you look at this, these are all the modules I'm going to have to do. Some of these are not open until a certain date. But look, Michael, if you can see the screen, in week 4, I'm going to have a virtual field trip to Bexar County Courthouse. You know why? Because that's where I'm going to be submitting all these documents. When I saw Michael do these videos, he's done a lot of work, guys. Some people hate him for it. Some people probably don't like him for it. But he's done a lot of work. Obviously, Michael, you should go to be a paralegal. It's not that hard. It's common sense.
Yeah. No, I was actually looking into law school. So
okay. So I want to go now that we know about that. I want to go back to YouTube, and we're gonna finish that YouTube video before I even go to bed. So I don't mind. I want to get this done and be the last video because I got a lot of reading to do. I got to read chapter 2 and 3 of this week by like Sunday. So that's another reason why I want to continuing to finish this video. If you don't mind, Michael, do we have time to finish today?
Yeah, you can cover what you're trying to go for.
Okay. Nope.
Now let's move on to
I want to show this.
Stopped in December
here's a live CPS court right here. I've been watching it. I want to show you a little bit of this too.
Erica, press pause.
Okay. Well, for a couple months, it took
What is it?
So guys, I wanted to come on and show y'all this video because the woman that sued me, she opened doors like she doesn't realize how much doors she opened, but she opened more doors because I've been watching a lot of these YouTube videos on this court setting, and a lot of these are court settings based on in Wilson County court. And so I came across this court. This is Russell Wilson. Actually, Russell Wilson appeared in the courtroom that the woman is suing me for. Okay, this is Bobby Garza. She is the CPS worker. That is the child's attorney. That is the court rep. You see court rep. You asked me yesterday's court rep. That is the foster parent. That is the attorney for the mom. That is, I think, the attorney for CPS. One of these two are the attorneys for CPS. I don't remember which one. Exactly, which one's for CPS. One of them, I know one of them is for the foster parents, I think. And then the other one is for CPS.
Shelly Merritt is the attorney for CPS.
Yeah.
She is? The attorney for CPS.
Okay. So she opened doors for me having the possibility. And can I let viewers watch a little bit of this? Do you mind?
Sure, but just keep in mind that we're probably gonna have to shut down in a bit. I would like to focus more on your case and your story.
Okay. I just wanted to show this. This is a video if y'all want to. Maybe Michael could share it in the description and people watch it. And then make nasty rude comments if you got to. because the CPS needs to know that they are hated. Now where's mine?
I know you got a lot of great stuff to show, right? But today I wanted to share your story.
Okay, here's mine.
There you go.
But I just want viewers to know that I've been able to watch that.
Yes, your girl is a fan now. Daily hard.
Open doors.
Does all the work
And it's
for
good
you.
because it's a good thing I am watching it because I can figure out what they're trying to
What
do.
witnesses do you have?
I've got 2 witnesses, Mr. Franklin and Jeremy Thomas. Visits in February, nor has she made the.
Wanted to come on here and let viewers know that the reason why my rights weren't stripped during the CPS proceeding is because CPS allowed me to keep my youngest. And in the state of Texas, when a parent has one of their children, they cannot terminate rights on one child and not the other. I just want viewers to know that. For those who, I don't know what y'all laws are in other states, that y'all might have similar laws like that, but I don't know. But here in Texas, that's how Texas works.
Missed 18 months in a row immediately after that order had been signed.
Okay, and what are you going to ask me to do today, Ms. Thomas?
I don't think she has any pleadings on file.
Right after the court case had happened, but there was a whole 18-month period where she didn't even contact Kid Share.
Okay, and you're also aware that she missed all of February.
So I want to make a comment. So when a parent's rights are like not like they're supervised, there's parents that I've met actually that have rights to their children, but the foster parents deny their visitation rights. As a mom, I did not trust my brother enough to do that, so I had the option to use KidShare, and so of course I used KidShare to show. I was able to choose KidShare. It was either KidShare or it was going to be my brother, and in this case, I did not trust my brother enough to protect my visitation rights. Had he done the visits, because that was an option too, but it's a good thing that my visits are supervised at this time, because KidShare is supposed to be a neutral party.
Okay, Eric, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I gotta let you know I got about 30 minutes left because people are going to sleep. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know.
It's crazy. I knew about that investigation that was going on. The CASA worker on the case that y'all saw on the orders.
Ms. Thomas. Okay, the only thing I'm asking right now is, do you have an objection to the admissibility of this piece of paper? I'm not asking if you agree with it.
Yes, I do.
What is your objection to the admissibility of the petitioner's exhibit 2?
Well, the reason why I'm objecting it to it is because I want to let you know currently I have a 4-year-old boy in my custody. He is the brother of.
All right, and Ms. Thomas, again, I'm fine. That's not a legal objection. So without a legal objection, I will admit petitioner's exhibit number 2, and you'll have a chance to speak very shortly.
I can explain.
Go ahead, Ms. Aldrich.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna explain what Erica should have done. Okay, so this document that was being brought into court. Okay, Erica had an option to object to it, right? But she needs to give a legal reason to do that, right? And at the time, she didn't know how to respond, right? I mean, like most parents, you can't blame her, right? This is one of the very first instances. I mean, they're just pulling out this document right out of nowhere. She didn't expect it to be thrown there, right? But what should have Erica have responded, right? She could have said, "I object," right? I object because I'm the possessory conservator right now. Okay, Jeremy is the managing conservator. Okay, and this woman here, okay, is not the successor conservator. Okay, I'm the successor conservator. Okay, if the managing conservator can't provide put forth the effort to watch my son, then I am the successor, right? That is how she should have objected to it, right? Or she could have said that I object because I don't know this woman to the best of my knowledge. I don't even know if she has a background check. I don't know. I mean, she could have said a multitude of things, right? But
what happens? What if I said due process of law is why I'm objecting to it?
No, she has every right to file suit against you, right? That's her due process of law. Like I said, a reason why you can object to it is because this is the first time that it just came out, right? You didn't know or had enough time that to see what it was, you know what I mean? But then again, yesterday you told me that they did serve you did resign for it, so you had enough time. So the only thing that I would have objected to up until this point is that you didn't have I mean you are the successor.
Another thing that I could say is I need time to get counsel.
Or that too. I mean, I don't see how that would have really came out. I really don't see how you would be able to use that. You know, I mean, you could say I object because I haven't had time to show counsel. Right, but they still would have admitted to it. They still would have said that, you know what, well, Your Honor, she was served on this day, right? And here's the proof of service. So she's had enough sufficient time to get counsel. And that was one of the very first things in the beginning. Remember, you were trying to not have the case started because you didn't have counsel, and they started anyways. So they would have admitted this anyways. So your only option here was to be, no, Your Honor, I object to it because I'm the successor conservator. I'm the possessory conservator right now, and Jeremy's the managing. So I'm the successor. I'm the next in line, right? That's the only thing that I can come up with right now. All right, I got about 20 minutes left, Erica.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jeremy Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Wendy. How long have y'all been together? You know why we're here today. We're here to ask.
I just find it very. Hold on, let me put up my video. There we go. Okay, guys, I just find it very interesting that the judge just allowed Jeremy Thomas to walk away when he's an actual party to the case. Didn't even say, "Wait, hold on, just a minute, sir. We're not done." Nothing, right? Just let him You know, and they just moved on, right? It's just crazy. Okay, I just wanted to point it out.
The trailer that they lived in was less than dilapidated, for lack of better terms. And I saw some things there that brought about long before the CPS case. So I kind of knew that all this was going to come to a point.
So it's fair to say there's
Quick statement. So I have all of Edward's shot records, by the way, the original records, not the ones they got to make copies of. But I got his original records, and he's up to date. He was up to date on all his shots because I was the one that took him to the doctors and the dentist and all that. And I have all that record of it too, so that's good, I guess. And I can try to bring it in this courtroom, so to show the judge that I was the one that was the person
feel that
that
should
took care of him.
continue, or if it should be suspended?
I would like to see it suspended,
Right.
primarily because of several things. There was a time I got to go to one of the visitations with Wendy and Jeremy, and while I was there, Erica actually threatened harm to Wendy while she was present there, and over the child.
That was a lie. And just want viewers to know that as long as I'm paying child support, I always will have those visitations. So they cannot strip visitations from me, because that's how the system works. You pay child support, you have visitation. You don't have visitation, you don't pay child support.
Okay, if I can help. Now, at that time,
Okay. So is it fair to say you and Jeremy do not talk to your sister at this time due to the harassment on social media?
I do not partake in social media. I've actually gotten off of it.
Okay.
I had enough.
Can you tell the court what type of threat she makes?
By the way, guys, all these people right here in this video, they're all blocked on my Facebook. So, and I found out that they're blocked. I'm blocked on there. So guess what? There is no communication if we're both being blocked on. If we've blocked each other, there's no communication whatsoever.
We talked about something called featherwood. I don't even know what that is, but somebody said it
What?
was connections. So
Something called what, sir?
it's some. She said at one point that she had a connection to something called she lived at a place called Fairweather, but she had connections to Featherwood, which is, I don't know what that is, but that was her connection to get at Wendy. And that's I've heard personally. I don't know.
What is he
Go ahead with
talking
your
about?
questions, ma'am.
So I'll explain what he's talking about. So remember how I told you yesterday that even though I paid all this money outright out of my pocket, I have a stable housing through HUD. I'm under a program called Fairweather Family Lodge. It's basically a house like I have my own room. I have my own bedroom. We share a kitchen and we share the laundry room and we share basically the outside. It is all gated. It has cameras. It is everything that we need. Basically, Lendra, if I was to cross-examine Lendra, she knows where we're at. She knows where I'm at because she called up here talking her crap, and I filed a civil disturbance on her when she did that. And the crazy part, the good thing about that, it's going to fall on her butt when she does that because the place where I live, they don't deal with custody issues. They only deal with CPS issues. So I'm basically around a whole bunch of mandated reporters, and they have not reported anything with me having Alexander. So that right there should be enough evidence to prove to the courts that my son should be home. Because I'm around, I guarantee you, Michael, I'm around a lot of mandated reporters at this moment. Counselors, therapists, you name it.
Okay, Franklin, do you believe those threats are credible for her to come and kidnap her son?
Yes.
Why do you believe they're credible threats?
Primarily because I know Edward Santine Sr. At the time that the threats were being made, she was still with Edward Santine Sr. And they talked about kidnapping. It wouldn't be the first time. She has said in the past also that she does not want Junior to be living with Wendy. And part of it has to do with her race, and not just her whether she can take care of the child or not. In the past, she had also given. This happened about 3 months after Edward was born. We were called to their trailer, and they came up. They wanted to draw up papers for adoption that myself and my wife would adopt Edward.
That was a lie. He lied right there. It wasn't adoption papers. It was, okay, so I created you know how there's will laws? Like if I was to die and something was to happen to me, I have the right to choose to who has my son before I pass away. Because in the event, if I pass away and I don't have somebody to take over, that's when the states get your child. And he's lying in court. I did not file for adoption paperwork.
What is this that he said about a skinhead?
He doesn't want to say that his dad was on methamphetamines. His dad did meth. That was his drug choice. And that's how he's labeling them.
Okay.
Should CPS ever get involved? So it was something that they kind of knew what might happen. But at the time we turned it down because my wife was also pregnant with my daughter. So it kind of was one of the cases where
you freaking turned it down.
We got our own hands full, about to be new parents.
So he turned this piece of paperwork down, guys. And now he wants to speak up against me. Like, come on now. It makes no sense, right? What do you think, Michael? He didn't want my kid back then.
It's getting interesting. I really do. But I have to tell you,
he's married.
I'm probably gonna have to be cutting this short already. Only because where I'm at, there's people that are getting ready to lay down. So we're probably gonna have to end up closing it up tonight, Erica.
Can we do a part 3?
So your opinion right now is that it would be in best interest for him to stay with Mikey, for the business to be restricted, and also for a stay away order against your sister.
All right. Now, Ms. Erica Thomas, I need to let you know this is not a chance for you to testify. You will have a chance to testify on your own behalf shortly. But this is an opportunity for you to ask questions of this witness. So what questions do you have for this witness?
I do have a question. I would like to know why CPS was called on Lendra and my mother. Like, I don't know the situation.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't believe he has personal knowledge of that.
Mr. Frankenstein, you answer the question. I don't believe objection. If you have personal knowledge,
Actually, I don't know. I have.
Thomas?